and Krisis. And Krisis. And Krisis. Look at Krisis's hair today. It is like, I told him it's like his own universe. It's just, I expect to find, wait, what was her name? Singularity. I'll find Singularity in there.
Yeah, I'm looking for some Scarlet Witch Russell Dauterman universe hair, you know, that just like flows behind her. Or like Starfire. That's what we're going for.
Starfire, yeah. There's a good name. How are you doing, buddy?
I am well. It is absolutely stunning. In New Zealand, at this time, it's winter. It's the dead of winter. But New Zealand has lots of little microclimates. So we're like in the 1 week in the middle of winter, which is actually perfect. So I've been going outside every day, getting away from the glowing rectangle and the comic books. Just living some life.
Are you fully converted to Celsius? Do you know? Do you understand Celsius and Fahrenheit?
You know what's funny? I am really good about talking about Celsius in the world of Celsius, but I only know the extremes in Fahrenheit. Like I know that 37 Celsius is like 96 degrees, 97 degrees Fahrenheit. But then if you were to be like, oh, it's 60 today Fahrenheit, I don't know what that is in Celsius. I just know it's pleasant to me in Celsius. I can't. I know it's a simple matter of math, but I don't know how to do that math.
I what was it? 30, it's 37 Celsius here today. It's like 100.
I have not experienced that since 2017. It does not get that hot here.
Oh, I know. Philly's crispy. I just heard that I think the whole nation is hot because I just heard Dom is at 100 degrees down in Southern California, and then Mitch is at 100 degrees up in Oregon. I'm on the completely left or right-hand coast, and it's 100 degrees here. I don't know where it's cool. Maybe, Nate, who wrote the theme song, he says it's pleasant near Lake Michigan, where he just moved. I will not dock
it's pleasant, like 85. That's still not pleasant.
Well, I think he said it was pretty nice there. He did grow up in Portland, so he's used to, I guess, you know, moderate temperatures and rain. But he said, let me ask him. I should call him and just say,
reporting live on the United States weather. It is the adorable Omnidog.
Wait, where is he? He wanted to see. Oh, okay.
We could even green screen and put the map up behind us. That could be. What if we did weather? What if we did like DC weather? What if we did Marvel Universe villain flare-ups and we had the map behind us and we're like, of course you never want to go to New York. It is never good news there. We're hearing some mole man happenings in New York, but that is really just the daily forecast. Some really surprising things happening in Missouri today, though. Missouri's getting the arch is cracked. That seems to have been the work.
This is all going to Nate. I have it on talk to text and it's got all this. Oh, damn it. Okay.
It's gonna be like,
what temperature there? Question mark. Jiminy Crickets. Let's see. Comic Slayer's under a tornado watch at 85 degrees night. Not my fave.
My bud.
In her third trimester.
Not the tornado watch.
Only in the 80s in Iowa. Cool for this time of the year, but you're in Iowa. Okay. Hit 80 in Chicago. Okay, that's not bad. Might be chilly in Alaska. What is it in Scotland, Hayden? Wait, he's another Celsius guy. Tell us what it is. Do the math.
And on the late shift to watch us today, my buddy Hayden.
Because I've got Mr. Fabulous with me. I'm kind of jealous. It was 98 today, feeling like oh yeah, it's awful. I'm not far away from Kane. 5 years and I still can't get used to Fahrenheit. Well, I can't get used to 100 degrees either in Fahrenheit. Here's Chris. Good to see you, Chris. Thank you for joining. CNSS is here. What up, buddy? Alex. Doc Elevator. Jess, quick, find some X books to organize. I actually do have a thing to say about that when Freddie gets on. I won't put you on the spot. Freddie's actually a help. Oh, I bring the hunks. Look at the hunk that I brought in. Yeah, buddy.
You got a hunk of dupe. Hunks of many different things.
Dupe's here. Krisis is here. Freddie will be here. He said he's going to be late because he's on shoot for something. Okay, everybody's happy that you're here. Yay, yay. Can Peter, M, and Freddie be pinged on another Discord server? I don't know if Freddie is on Omnidog's Discord. I think Peter's on my Discord, but I don't know that you ever go in there.
No, Discord for me, much like my hair, is a universe unto itself, and I get so happy to have people to talk to, especially at like weird hours here where there's nobody up in New Zealand. You're all up other places of the earth, and what happens is I become a 24/7 denizen of Discord. Like a week
Oh,
later, I'll realize that I haven't read any comics, I haven't gone for a run, I
yeah.
haven't done laundry. I've just been on Discord full time. So for my own mental health, I just pop in every so often and like say hi. Like when we did this DC poll on near condition, I
Oh, yeah.
hopped on that. I hopped in there and was there for a few weeks. But I just know that for me, Discord is it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah. Okay. I like it because people talk to me about comics, food, hot dogs, whatever. Sazmurf, that's right. Extra Tuesday stream. Okay. James is yelling for everybody. He was just a couple minutes late. That's better late than never to my experience. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Jake is here. Now Jake gets a special shout out.
Jake and I keep saying we're going to do something together, and then we just keep not. We haven't quite figured out what that is yet. Eventually, I'm gonna make a guest appearance on The Brave and the Boys, though.
Oh yeah, you need to. He put my Instagram reel today. He put together my Instagram reel. I'm not gonna even pretend I made it. He made it for me, and it's boss as heck. He did a great job. Thank you, Jake. I expect it to be viral by tomorrow because I put it up kind of late. Fifth of Jack tormenting me on Facebook because he has a giant size Snickers bar ice cream that he's eating. Don't let the penguin drive the Batmobile. Okay, summoner. Booster's here. What up, Boost? My computer says 72 in northern Michigan. Yeah, I think it is.
See, that sounds pleasant. That's here. That's like here. Like it'll be 70s in the summer, and then it gets up to like 82 for like 3 hours, and you're like, oh, the heat. And then everybody in New Zealand says, oh, we're dying of summer. When it gets like 82. That's too much. That's unheard of when we get to 82.
In the winter or the summer?
In the summer. In our summer, which is your winter, on Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. So Christmas. Is it pleasant or like really hot?
Christmas is like go to the beach and have a barbecue.
Oh my God, I'm so moving. If I was only younger and didn't have stupid Medicare and stupid Social Security, and I had a skill that New Zealand would want, I'd move there.
Well, you realize, I mean, I've certainly mentioned this before on other shows, but you realize how little agency you truly have over yourself and your body and your life if you're trying to do like an international move or apply for residency or visa or citizenship. We had to take all these tests, blood tests, medical history and things because there's nationalized healthcare here, and they have certain conditions and certain ages and certain things that they would prefer not to grant visas and residencies for because there's only 5 million people in this country, and if you're super expensive to care for, they don't want you to let you in. So like that's one layer. And then you get here and you're like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if my parents visited? And then you have to go through that whole thing again, you know, to get them a visa or try to get them residency, which is, I am very, very lucky to be here. I don't have any kind of assumption that we should all be allowed everywhere on earth and we should all have the privilege to come and go from every country as we please. If anything, going through this process has made me realize how much privilege it takes to do that at all, and gave me much more sympathy for people who like really, really need to immigrate from where they are to somewhere else, because it is not easy. And like you were saying, like there'll be one medical condition and you'll be certain countries you're trying to move to will say sorry. And I don't think the common person who's like, after this election, I'm leaving America, they like haven't necessarily done all of the research to inform them of all of these contingencies upon moving to another country.
Yeah, I don't think New Zealand would take me or my wife. I think we're pensioners in the words of England and stuff. We're older. We're retired. We don't contribute to. We don't bring a marketable skill there. We might have 30 years ago. Okay, well I didn't, but my wife did. She had a marketable skill. I only bring pain. I have pain. And that's all I can bring, and it needs to be treated.
That's a Jess clip if I've ever. I only bring pain.
I only bring pain. That's all I have to offer. I don't think any country wants me. Peter, can we have an Omnidog's weather segment on our X-Men and Drag Race show?
That's
We'll
the
work
beauty
on
of this.
that.
Is it's like it's evolving. I really like the supervillain weather. I think I'm going to keep doing that bit at the top of every show until somebody likes it. But
Oh, I
yeah,
like it.
this
Let's
is
work on it.
evolving. We'll be here
We'll
every
work on
month
it.
doing
And,
this stupidity.
okay, we'll work on it for next show because I don't obviously have a green screen. I know how to get one. That's
Oh, I
something
could probably
Jake.
do it.
Oh,
I can green
okay.
screen up there. Yeah.
And you could point out that where in the United States all the supervillains are, like Green Goblins eating tacos down in Florida or something.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. And then, you know, like, and then there would be a special segment, like at the end, like, and of course the Great Lakes Avengers are doing nothing. Back to you, Jess.
It's nice there at the Great Lakes, but they're not doing anything.
Sunny and 85 at the Great Lakes today, folks. And back to you, Omnidog in the studio.
Okay, we got to work on that. That sounds awesome.
I don't think anybody else on YouTube is doing that, Jess.
Yeah. Oh, we would have a lock on it.
Yeah, it would be ours.
Oh, yes, it would. Totally would. That would be so great. Larry
I'm actually crying a little bit with mirth at this whole.
Larry's doing math on us here. What are those mad numbers and things there? Fahrenheit equals 9.
Under duress, I can do that, Larry. But if somebody's like, "Oh, it's this will melt at 60 degrees Fahrenheit," what Celsius is that? I can't just say that in the middle of conversation. I have to sit and do the math.
Yeah, that's just Fahrenheit. Like, how do I get to Celsius? Do I go 5/9 minus 32? This is too much. We need the villain map. I can read that. I can't.
Larry can have a segment where he teaches us basic international math. Maybe he could teach me how to convert kilograms to pounds, which I still don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
I would.
People ask me what I weigh in kilograms. I'm like 20. I have no idea.
I had a friend from New Zealand back when I toured Europe, and we were saying what our weight was, and I said, "Well, I'm 150 pounds," and he goes, "Oh, I'm about 9 stone," and I'm like, "What are you saying? You weigh as much as 9 stones? How much is a stone in New Zealand? That 9
That's a Britishism though. Nobody hears. I've never heard anybody here say.
Oh, really? He was a Kiwi. Oh, here's Miriam. Good to see you, Mary. I need to talk to you about possible shows because Comic Slayer's taking the summer off, and I need guest hosts for the Omnicat show. She's with child. She has a baby human in her. What are comics? I
don't know, Max. That's what we're here to find out.
That's right. We will be talking about comics. We touched on a supervillain map, so that sort of counts.
It's comic adjacent.
I have Uncanny 1, X-Men 1, and NYX 1 pre-ordered already. All of them have amazing variants.
I mean, this is it. We're here. This is the week. It's all happening. There's new X-Men comics.
I'm not, after I'm done with Krakoa, I'm not touching X-Men again for 3 to 5 years. I will be caught up, and then all those things will be collected in 3 years, and then I can start again.
Well, but that's the beauty of being a trade waiter and like just kind of letting people figure out what the reading order is and reading them when they, the monthly grind, it's exhausting. I had to take a month off. It's a lot.
Yeah. Let me see. James, I know you're still out there. James James posted in my Discord a really bitchin' cover of Rogue. I'm assuming I actually don't. I forget who's in Uncanny and who's in X-Men and who's in NYX. But where did you post that, James? Tell me when I get to you in 20 minutes. I'll open it up. Jess, is it hotter?
I keep forgetting which one is writing Uncanny and which one. Gail is writing adjectiveless.
Oh, she's right. Okay. Rogue. Is Jed McKay writing one?
Is writing Uncanny, which has Cyclops. No, I have the other way around. I'm wrong. It's the other way. Gail is writing Uncanny, which has Rogue. And McKay is writing X-Men, which has Cyclops. It's hard to me because to me, Rogue is an adjectiveless character. Like she was always on Blue Team in the 90s. And then she was in like Carrie's Supernova's run around 188. And then Legacy turned into a Rogue cover. So like in my brain, the circuitry says, if Rogue's in it, that means it's adjectiveless. So the idea that like Rogue is leading the Uncanny team is kind of like I'm having trouble calculating. much like Fahrenheit and
Here's
Celsius.
something else that will blow your mind. I found all my X-Men gold.
Aw.
So
Are we bathing in root beer today? Are we getting a little splashed?
I don't do that anymore. I'm going to make myself read it. That's what I'm going to do.
You will
bought
find
those.
things to enjoy. There are enjoyable things, and it's a really fun cast. It's Guggenheim is sometimes I think TV writers put a lot of stock and film writers in how much the actors are doing for their lines, which is not to say that artists are not doing an amazing amount of acting with the faces and the characters they draw in comics. But I feel like sometimes you can tell somebody who writes a lot for TV and film when they write comics, when everything is like so flat and it sounds really stilted, you're like, oh, they were expecting a line read on that. And comics, all the line reads are in your head. And like, if it's kind of flat prose, it doesn't always work. I feel like there's another writer who's relatively well liked right now who often has that problem. Very good writer, great plots, but his dialogue is so flat. And I eventually realized it's like, oh, he expects Oscar-winning actors to be reading that. I see.
Wow, that is so interesting. That gives me a good perspective when I go into gold. That will help me.
So I think if in your head you like really get it, like, okay, we're gonna read all of Rogue's lines in this book in my head as if it's Julia Roberts, or like we're gonna read all of Jubilee's lines like XYZ. I think then you might get more of it. It didn't sound as established in the characters. I think you had to like bring a lot of effort to like make it sound like them. That was my feeling on Gold.
I will look at who the lineup is in X-Men Gold, and I will assign them each an actor or actress in my head.
Yeah.
And I will
Kitty
I will
is the lead, so Elliot Page for Kitty, right? Like there's a couple gimmies.
Is that a gimme?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I loved Elliot Page as Kitty Pryde.
Okay.
But you know, to do your own casting, find your own voice.
Yeah.
Do your own thing.
What movie was that? Wait, what? What movie was Elliot Page Kitty?
So Elliot Page, previously Ellen Page, before they came out, who was Kitty Pryde in X-Men, the terrible one, Last Stand. But he was like the one good thing. He was the one good thing.
I love. Is that the one where Jean kills Cyclops, or we don't off screen? That's the one I love. I actually own that, and I don't remember Ellen Page. I'm sorry, Elliot Page. I remember them in Inception. I have the soundtrack to that.
I love Inception. One of my favorites. That's a movie that really you can get more and more of it every time you watch it, and not just because it's like a plot within a plot within a plot, like Russian Dolls. There's just so much. There's so many details. There's so many little. I probably watched it, and I'm not a Nolan apologist. I don't love every Christopher Nolan movie, but I probably watched Inception easily like 20, 30 times. I just really love Inception. Do you love Inception, or you just love the soundtrack?
Well, I do love the soundtrack, and I love the movie, but I've only seen it once or twice. I would say my most watched movie also has Leo DiCaprio in it, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've seen that probably 7 times. But I mean, not counting Napoleon Dynamite, which 40 or 50 times, and movies like that. Peter, I recently watched your old Morrison Batman videos and really enjoyed the discussion.
That was such a fun time. It was kind of like in the middle of that early pandemic, like really high productivity, because there was people still really weren't going out and doing things. And it was Fariha and a good friend of the channel and Harry and I. And Harry's like this Morrison super fan, and this Batman Morrison super fan, Harry Sayer, who used to be on This Week of
I saw him at Heroes Con last year. He's like, Omnidog. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm Harry Sayer. I'm like, dude. And we got a picture, and then he was off into the sunset. But yeah, I know him.
Such a high quality human being.
Really nice guy.
And I'm still very close friends with him, even though we don't do the show. And then right in the middle of it, it was like Freya's job changed, and I got a new job, and Harry was like, move all this time, and the time zones changed, and everybody's like, there were rumors like, oh, Peter quit because Freya hated Final Crisis so much. I'm like, no. Sometimes people just get busy. Sometimes there's just no more episodes recorded in the can. I mean, she did hate Final Crisis.
Okay. I will help spread that rumor too. Why you guys broke up? It was something Freya did. Yeah, that's right. Important question. Chris, did you get any magic variants? I love magic. I love Emma. I already named my 7 X-Men and they were all women on Saturday's Very Fine Condition show. So I would always appreciate knowing. This is the Discord. Todd is a longtime viewer, first time typer. What up? And let me do a shout out to Sticky Goose, who is a lurker, but I've never seen it. He may be watching. He may not be. I don't know. I got Larry and my other friend texted me. Larry went into Discord and Sticky Goose said that had a video, the 5 greatest YouTubers of all time. And Sticky Goose had me at number 5. And he said the nicest things about me. It moved my wife and daughter, not to tears, but they lost their breath. They were crying so hard at the nice things he said about me. I was moved
crying
to
about
tears.
how nice it was, or crying at the humor of how.
No, it was not ironic at all, Peter.
Okay,
He meant every
honest.
word of it. How dare you? I was moved to tears, but I get moved to tears just seeing Peter. So
you've seen, I really get emotional in these streams. It's getting to be regular that I cry on an Evergreen show almost every time we do it. So I can't. I have no room to talk.
So I just wanted to thank Sticky Goose publicly. If you're out there, I don't know if you are. I've already responded and typed. I sent him a message underneath the video. I did not stay for who the other 4 were. I was happy being number 5.
Why would you? It's like when you see the band you like and they're the opening act, then you leave. Right. That's rude. Don't do that. But
yeah, I don't know who the top 4 were, but I was just happy with being 5. I was like, I'm done, so that's cool.
Presumably, it was probably like you, Mr. Beast, all the really big ones.
Beast. Halo Tangle. Hey, I haven't seen Halo Tangle before. Welcome.
Oh, I have to give a plug. I mentioned Freya and Harry. Tyler, who is the final member of our This Week in X crew, if you used to watch back in the day.
I remember
Tyler
that.
actually just launched his own new channel. So you can be like one of the double-digit subscribers. He is just like Tyler knows X-Men so well. Like, I talk a lot, but then Tyler stealth will like deliver this like, oh, but do you remember back in 1989 when blah? Because he just knows it front to back. And he's committed to reviewing Solo from the Ashes stuff. So I will put his channel in the chat. His channel is You Expose, and he's done 2 videos so far, and he needs more. We should be watching them more. He started with the Blood Hunt stuff, and he's going to be talking about all the new books. So there you go.
I just purchased Blood Hunt 1 Red Band. I had to buy it on eBay. Number 1. I got the rest for a good price. It was $10, so that's not.
What are you doing? That's like the whole trade from IST. Or who's our sponsor here?
Yeah, graphic novels. That as a matter of fact, I'm almost getting there. Just a sec. But they're not going to collect the Red Band variants, so
they're not even digital.
Right. So it's got extra story. I don't care so much about the extra gore, whatever, but I want the extra story. So I'm committed to Blood Hunt. I think it's 5 issues. And then I got in right away on Wolverine Legacy. I'm not letting that gory blood get on eBay and cost me $50 or something ridiculous.
Oh, but the Hickman one. The Hickman Capullo?
Yeah. If they were collected, this is where you would go to get them. Organic Price Books, right, Peter?
That's right. Organic Price Books, I really love it because it's a real fan who saw that you could be doing this internet book selling thing and doing it with the way that all of us fans would want to receive the books, all of the way we would want to go and surf on a website. And that just warms my heart because it's like bringing that local comic book vibe to internet shopping for comic books. Not all of us have the ability to go to a local comic book store as much as we want to support them. So for a lot of people, Organic Price Books is your internet local comic book store. And it's awesome that if you go to checkout with 4 or more books, that if you type Omnidog sit, all one word, you get a discount. because Organic Breakfast books are friends of Omnidog's Vault.
Man, I need to hire you to do my pitches. That is so good.
That was
Nice.
much better than the one I did last time. So much better than the.
You're happy with that? Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I know you're tough on yourself, so I appreciate that.
Oh my gosh! Now I'm looking at all these comments. There's so many people I want to talk to.
Mr. Tex, 83, Rami, 83 in New York City, aka 28 Celsius. Ooh, Rami flexing there.
Oh, with the international version.
I'm told Australia is the same as New Zealand in terms of going through so many tests. Well, I can't go there then, can I? Maybe I need to try to go to Syria or something. They probably would welcome me there.
Well, do you have, I know for me as an Italian, I can probably pursue my lineage because all of my family is from Italy from like 3 generations ago, every single one, and get Italian citizenship. Do you have a country like that where like enough of your forebears are from there that you could? No.
I am a mix of Scottish, Welsh, French, and Cherokee. The lineage on my dad's side stops at his grandmother because the indigenous people of America didn't keep records.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far that was his mom's side. Okay, so her mother, his grandmother was Cherokee, and that's where my sister took it all the way back before 23andMe, and she took it back to like the 16th century or something.
Wow.
And the Bragg part comes from Wales, and then there's a big French chunk, but then there's that Cherokee part that I don't know. It's only through like a DNA test that I could prove it because there's no census records of it. So the short answer is I got no place to go.
You got nowhere.
This is it. My basement is it. My basement will accept me under protest. So I am highly anticipating my Zdarsky Daredevil omnibus in 2 weeks.
Special note, if you are going to read that back half of Zdarsky Daredevil, you might also want to pick up Jason Aaron's Punisher, because it's pretty much a full-on unofficial crossover with Jason Aaron's Punisher. Jason Aaron's Punisher is only 12 issues, and multiple times throughout that run, it interacts very, very closely with Zdarsky's Daredevil. And it's a very unusual Punisher. It's not Punisher who's just like shooting bad guys. It's Punisher very much as involves the Hand and a lot of Daredevil plots. And the result of the Punisher thing kind of sets up the finale of Zdarsky's Daredevil. I'm not trying to give you FOMO. I'm not saying you're not going to love Zdarsky's Daredevil if you don't read Punisher. Zdarsky's Daredevil is marvelous. But you will get more information if you read Aaron's Punisher. And I do not like Jason Aaron, nor do I like the Punisher. And I friggin' love that run.
I remember you said
so it might mean it's terrible, really. That could really be what the case is, but I like it.
So that's the second half of the first Omni from Zdarsky?
I think it's the second omnibus. Like the end of Zdarsky lines up almost perfectly with.
It's not this first one. This is the first one that's coming.
Oh, that's the first one.
Yeah,
I saw 2Ds 2 weeks. I was reading number 2. No, because number 2 comes out in like January, right?
Okay, that sounds right.
I don't know. I'm not very fine condition. I don't know these dates.
Over in Latveria, it's once again hailing Doombots, and Genosha is still dead. Back to you in the studio. We need to hire Hayden.
I think Hayden and I would probably have a grand time, I'm sure.
Hello, Axel. Thank you for joining. Oh, it was Google Foo. Larry ordered Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong hardcover. Wow. That's
I'd be rooting for anybody who's going to fight the Justice League. Let's see them get stomped.
I think the best countries would be New Zealand, Canada, and the Scandinavian ones. No one would take me, though. This is the issue. We're talking about me here, not this guy who found his way to a country that would not only accept him but put him to work. I was a nanny for 30 years, so that's if you want me to take care of Kid Krisis while you're working, I could do that, but that's about it.
That was how Jess and I originally connected. I was also a full-time, I referred to myself as a toddler concierge at the point that I moved to New Zealand, because I had left my highfalutin job to be a stay-at-home toddler concierge. So that was officially my
That's right.
profession at the time that I moved here.
That's right. Let's see. If we back it up, when we first started talking, was Kid Krisis about 3?
Yeah, 2, 3, probably around that time. Yeah,
that is right.
She's turning 11 in a few weeks.
Ooh, 11.
It's too
Most excited for Uncanny though because of Rogambit. I think I'm only reading Gale's Uncanny unless I hear good things from other books. Here's Stanley. What up, buddy? I can't stay, but I wanted to pop on and say, woo, it's my birthday. I'm almost, you had to throw that in. I'm almost as old as Jess now. Happy birthday,
Stanley.
To my Welsh buddy, Stanley. Now you know that I've got Welsh blood in me. What do you think? Oh,
it's in quite an international crowd. No wonder you're the number 5 greatest YouTuber of all
time. Okay, it's in cover gallery. Thank you, James. Let me see what you think of this. If you love this as much as I do. Oh, by Ivan Talavera. And Kane wants it as a figure. This would make a good figure. A good action. Wait, let me highlight myself and get the light shine off it.
Love the red lining in the leather jacket because that's like a real detail, right? If you got a nice leather jacket, it usually has a nice lining. A lot of artists don't think of that stuff.
What? Goodbye. Discord, come back. You can't. I'm not doing a good job. You can't really see it as well off my phone. I should open up. That's what I'll do. What an idiot.
Open up Discord on the
computer. Yeah, I'll just open Discord and show it because that's the way I should be doing things.
By the way, would any of these YouTube channels with comics on them happen without James Abel in the background? He's like an old school telephone operator, like hold please, switch, just plug, like making all the connections. He knows everybody's URL, everybody's social media, all the covers, all the dates things are coming out.
There we go. Now you can see it.
I aspire to that. Oh yeah, it's so much more saturated saying it that way.
Yeah, that's much better. And thank you to James for I want to know, okay, it's an Uncanny X-Men variant. So I will try and track this down because Kane's right. That I would love an action figure of that. But the cover's really cool. I was going to say when upper management first went to work in Baltimore for the company, she went, let's see, when we met, she had been working there 2 years. So she went there in 85. And that is how it was operating. Big company. They had the switchboard thing that you're talking about where they would plug you in to reach the person. It had one phone number and 85 things for the operators to plug in. It was people have no idea what we're talking about, but I can picture it. I can picture it. I literally only got the NYX issue 1 because of an amazing... Who's the artist, Chris? Hit me to who the artist is because I'm very weak when it comes to getting variants. I like to collect variants. Omnidog, your knowledge and love of comics should count as marketable, damn it. That's Spanish lessons too. Yeah, New Zealand, let me in. I got comics knowledge. Jubilee looks awesome. Comic Slayer. I'll read anything Rogue always. Of course. Nate, you think so, huh? 83, but with humidity. It feels like death. Okay. 100 degrees. Wait. 100 degrees here, you jerk! Exclamation point. With humidity. Period. I am in hell. In all caps. Well, you didn't do a good job there. Whoop! No, now it's doing. This is why New Zealand doesn't want me. I can't even talk to text.
I can't. I mean, to be honest, I cannot operate a phone. It's so funny because I'm not. I mean, I'm old, but I'm not that old. Nor should old be a thing. Although my eyes are definitely getting old. But I do so much work on my laptop. I'm such a quick typer. I do video editing. I have a whole website that I run, that the idea of trying to like get anything done with my thumbs, I physically can't do it. It's not a touchscreen thing. On a tablet, I'm fine. But when people are like, oh, on their phone, let me we're on the road. Oh, let me look up that restaurant. Oh, I'm going to write to them and see if they have gluten-free options. Oh, cool. Here's their number. And now I'm going to call them. Like, I cannot do that on my phone. I cannot do it. And I think that prematurely ages me because I am mystified. I can't. I'm like an old person. I'll be somewhere and there'll be a QR code and I go, I don't do
that. For a menu, there's a lot of restaurants that do that here now. They don't give you a menu. They give you a QR code. And I can just imagine
I'm
people.
So sorry. I don't have that.
I can just imagine people going, where's the menu? Don't give me this QR code. Just give me a menu. Comic Slayer.
Oh, there's some questions I want to talk about in the chat, but I want to let you catch up to
what time? No, I'm fine. What time are they?
I'm
way behind. Everyone will sound like Harley in Jess's head. Oh, it's Last Stand and Days of Future Past. Days of Future Past was a pretty darn good movie, I thought.
Yeah, and that has Kitty in it too. Okay. Larry was saying that it's annoying that Kitty has weird time control powers in that movie, but that's because, for everybody who knows Days of Future Past, they kind of collapsed Rachel Summers' powers into Kitty's powers for the purpose of the movie, because you certainly were not going to explain Rachel Summers in the course of that movie. So Kitty has,
yeah. Just tell me what time. Oh, what?
We'll get there. We're vibing. There's no hurry.
Okay.
There's no agenda. I'm like, Jess, if you've seen me in other shows and on my own channel in the past, I have an outline, I have agenda, I have amounts of time allotted to each thing. I bring it on time. So I'm messaging Jess, what will the topics be for our hangout? Just like, chill out. It's hangout. We're just hanging out doing what we would be doing not on video, which is being morons. And then, but we're doing it for an audience.
Yeah, I called this jam. Did I call it jam? Yeah, Jam on Comics. And then I thought, is that really that good a name? Do people think we're spreading jam on comics? I want to
like that, though. That's cute.
I feel like we're jamming on comics. This is what I mean,
we can get like a musical episode. Like we could literally
go for it. Comics. Let's hear it.
Well, then I have to make sure it's all royalty free. Like I can't actually quote any songs or else she'll get demonetized, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't you have your own songs? Don't you?
I do have my own songs. Yes.
Ode to X-Men, I Love Cyclops, something.
I went through a period in 2010 where I was like, what if instead of reviewing every trade paperback that came out, I wrote a song about every trade, and not like Cyclops is, but like actually inspired by whatever the plot was. And then I got like
that's a great idea
into that, and I was like, I probably should have stuck with doing that. I could have been TikTok famous writing songs about.
Sticky Goose would have picked you number one.
I would have been number one. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, wait. Lenore Zahn's line readings for Rogue are so good. I channel that when I read out loud to the
series, Rogue.
Oh, okay. She was chased by Juggernaut in the film. Okay, and she went through the wall and Juggernaut crashed into the wall, right? That's when Magneto bent the Golden Gate Bridge to Alcatraz, which is like 40 miles away and is impossible. I love that part. It's like the Golden Gate Bridge would just not reach Alcatraz at all. First Avengers was one of my most watched movies. Okay, I'm vibing.
Sorry, I'm just.
Who's in your head? What X-Men is in your head while you're writing that?
Oh, I don't know. You were just talking about San Francisco and stuff, and I was just vibing.
Oh, here's where I said about Napoleon. Do the Tiggins have large talons? My favorite. Do you prefer the old Gambit voice, or do you like AJ Locasio as the new Gambit Peter?
The old Gambit voice was a little bit of a caricature. I mean, Gambit is a caricature. I was talking to Felix, who's a very fine commenter and one of my friends who edits the Doctor Who stuff on Crushing Crisis, about Gambit and how it's so hard to do a live action Gambit because Gambit is such a parody character. It's so hard to translate him into any other medium because he's always been inherently goofy. He's cool in that way that something only in a 1989 comic book would be cool. And so when you try to, even in animation, he comes off like a little weird, but then to try to do live action Gambit or whatever. So I think AJ Locascio toned it down a little bit and found more of the humor and the smirk in Gambit. I think original animated series Gambit is just a little over the top compared to, I mean, there's a reason animated series is held as the pinnacle of comic book cartoons. The voice cast was largely unassailable, but I actually think some of the new additions, I love the new Magneto, right? He's new. He's not original. And the new Cyclops is great because the original Cyclops passed away. Yeah.
And I told you that after listening to the to bits of the soundtrack that I am in for I'm buying. I already pre-ordered the soundtrack to the animated show because I listened to it and there was a lot of moving stuff. I'm not one of those kids that grew up with X-Men 92, so I don't have that theme song in my head like everybody else does. And I admit that theme song is really catchy, but all the rest of the songs, music, are really good. I think you might dig it. Just listening to it, do you collect vinyl at all, or do you just?
I don't. I have, because things are so expensive to physically collect here, that like I kind of just had to choose my battles.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge music collector. I don't really do streaming. Like I still prefer to, buy or if it's somebody's on Bandcamp, go and support them directly. And my music collection is like 126,000 tracks. I'm a very, very serious music listener. I try to listen to over 200 new records every year. I think it keeps me young.
Wow. I'm a fake fan. I thought I listened to a lot of music. You're amazing. Wait a minute. How do you listen to all that music and read all those comics and have a kid and a job? Are you?
I don't sleep. I think that's the number one.
Okay. That makes sense. I did get the best magic variant for X-Men issue 1. Okay. Who is the artist, my friend? So I can look at it. Let's see. They kind of collapse for each. Okay, we're talking about Days of
Future. Yeah, we're getting there. I know there's so many other people who've said I want to talk about the Geomancer, Brave and the Boys, said some stuff. Bunkmass is here. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. We're making our way down.
Sounds like my time to bring you back for a special reunion show.
Freya's busy jet setting, man. Her and that cat that cat has been on more airplanes, I think, in its life than I have.
Oh, fun. Good for her. People don't say nice things about Jess. Don't listen to the lies. And this is my good friend in Wales, Stanley. Thank you, Stanley. That's so nice. Did Sticky Goose say anything about your intern? Maybe he will now that if he goes to Instagram and sees the reel you did for me.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will. Oh, I know. This was actually really funny. This is so great. Sticky Goose said that I had some big names on my show, including that guy from Near Mint Condition, and he had a clip of me talking to Omar, and I'm like, that guy from Near Mint Condition is a guest on my show. The guy with 92,000 more viewers than I have. He's on my show. I love that. Okay, this is actually a good question. Did you get emotional to that Gambit scene, which I am familiar with in X-Men 97?
Of course I did. I really got the thing that made me the most emotional was Gambit taking out Rogue because he wouldn't let Rogue in her rage sacrifice herself, and then of course it's probably the coolest Gambit moment in all of media, right? Like, has Gambit ever been cooler than in that moment? I don't think he has.
That was when Freddie texted me and said, you need to watch this before you find out what happens in this episode. And I said, okay. And I just binged, I think, wasn't that episode 5 or something? I just binged all of them. And I was like, wow, this is such a good show. I can't believe it.
Yeah, so good.
This is really nice of you, Dr. Elevator, and this is typical of you, William Lee. I did not pay Sticky Goose at all. However,
Jess doesn't pay.
Yeah, I don't have any money. That's why New Zealand doesn't want me either. I don't have any money. Sticky Goose, thank you. Here's super producer James. Top 5 comic book YouTubers of all time. Nice. Thank you. Very nice. Called us goats, which I appreciate.
That's Tyler's channel that he's starting to do X-Men reviews on.
So you expose. Okay, this is Tyler's channel. Great. And James doing it again. Good, good, good. I know nothing about X-Men outside of X-23, Wolverine, and Rogue and Gambit. That's about it. No, you're not a fake fan. You have 4 favorites. That's enough. That's enough to get you into it. I didn't know anything when I started reading new X-Men, and that's what made me an Emma fan. And then I forgot. I have to reread Uncanny X-Force because I forgot how great that was.
Oh, so good.
And it also has, I had completely forgotten this, has really important stuff about Otherworld and Captain Britain and stuff in the back half of it. And that would have helped inform me on the Captain Britain stuff in this the Krakoa era. So I need to go back and read that. You're not a fake fan at all, Chris. If you like those characters, stick with them. Or maybe you'll find more. That's totally cool.
Something a phenomenon I see a lot on kind of comic spaces that are for everybody and not just the hardcore fans, which I think we take for granted. A lot of the people on these channels, even if you're not a hardcore X-Men fan, if you like comics enough that you're a regular Omnidog viewer, you probably have some comics that you're like really, really into. Probably some Western comics, just given the things that we talk about generally. Same thing on Very Fine Condition. And I noticed this phenomenon where people will be like, I really like Spider-Man from other media, right? Same for X-Men. And I want to be a fan and I just can't figure out how, or like, I don't know where to start. And part of me is like, that's part of why I have Crush and Krisis, like explaining there's accessible places to start. But I really wish we would just demystify this for people. Like, I really think all of us who are these hardcore comic fans should just go around and go, you're a fan if you like it. And you start literally by picking a comic that has an interesting cover. At this point, there's no perfect starting place. That's what makes it different than manga and many other kinds of media. Like, you literally just start with the thing that looks cool, and everybody did it that way. Very, very, very few people, less than 1% of people, ever started from the #1 issue, because honestly, before Marvel Unlimited, you couldn't even do that. It cost thousands of dollars. I can tell you because I tried. So this idea now, especially I'm seeing it a lot in the past 2 years, of like, I just don't understand. Like, I have to begin somewhere, and it's like we need to just spread this loving message of begin with the thing that looks the coolest and move forward or backwards from there. Because I hate that people are like gatekeeping themselves. It's like, we're like, yes, one of us. And we're not even gatekeeping. People are gatekeeping themselves because they're like panicked that they're not starting the right way.
Yeah. I even did it with you like a week ago because I wanted to know more about the roots of the Hellfire Club because of a Brubaker story I read. And I was like, whoa, I don't know enough about the Hellfire Club, like its roots and its beginnings and stories and stuff. So instead of going to his page, I pulled the I know him card and DM'd Peter. I said,
well, I don't have a Hellfire Club page, so that was the right call. But I do have an Emma page, which probably has a lot of Hellfire Club.
That is what I need to go to, because you did give me several things to read up on, which I appreciated. And I think that's part of the fun of getting into it is you start with the comic, say like I did with New X-Men, you start liking Emma, then you want to know more about Emma, and you can, you find out about Hellfire Club and you find out about the Stepford Cuckoos and stuff, and then it just branches out from there. So that's all you need is just one book to help you get into it completely. I think. I mean, other people pick Astonishing, which is fine, as like the best X book to start with. Other people pick, Uncanny X-Men #1, which is of course a good choice. But I agree with Peter. Just sticking your hand into the rack and looking for a cool comic.
I mean, famously, my first issue ever as an ongoing reader was X-Men 1991 #3, Chris Claremont's final issue. And I'm this big of an X-Men fan, and I started with his last issue. Anything. This is what kind of makes me sad. And then we have to get some of these questions. People are asking so much good stuff. Part of what makes me sad a little bit about Marvel bringing back the Ultimate Universe and now DC launching whatever this absolute universe is going to be, that more details are emerging, is they're kind of capitulating to this market idea of like, there's got to be an obvious place to start. And I think as a lifelong, really decades-long comic book fan, they're giving away the power of what makes Marvel and DC unique by capitulating to that. I think they would be better served at articulating the fact that every place you start is a good place to start. And every time we get this reduction to like a new line, new number ones, yeah, I get it. It brings in fans. They're selling well. People are excited. But to me, that is demystifying the power of the actual ongoing stories that they tell by saying, oh, you can just start here. And like, that's never going to be as powerful as the 80 years or the 60 years of its marvel of storytelling that came before that. So I get really, I am enjoying some of this new Ultimate Universe. I am reading it, which is unusual for me. I only usually read the main ongoing universe, but it does make me sad because I feel like I just don't think we need easy starting points. Every issue is an easy starting point. But that's me, that's me who's been reading since 1991. But in 1991, I picked up an issue that made no sense, and I love comics. So I guess this is me being an old person and saying like, well, when I was a kid, but that's the point of comics. So that's my diatribe.
Oh, Halo is from Very Fine. Okay, good. Welcome, Halo. Stanley, we did wish you a happy birthday, you rat bastard, you former friend of mine. Omnidog, what's your favorite Daredevil run? Ooh, now that actually is something I can answer. Oh boy, I have read all of it except Zdarsky, so we have to take Zdarsky out. I am a big fan. This is hard because Bendis, Brubaker. I skipped Shadowland and then I went straight to Wade. It's all great. To me, it's all great. Bendis, Brubaker, and Wade are like this sort of scene. Well, Bendis to Brubaker was seamless, and then Wade starts something new. But if I had to pick, I guess I'd pick Wade. But it's hard not to pick Brubaker, and it's hard not to pick Bendis. They both write such a perfect Daredevil. I liked Charles Soule's run too. I don't know. Okay, I hate to say this because this is exactly what Peter was saying don't do, but you could pick up Mark Waid's run and start with that if you wanted to. Or you could pick up Bendis and go right through Brubaker and have fun with that too. I still think the Red Band editions.
I think that's the point, though. Like Wade, yeah, it's a number one, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, to get Wade, you've got to see how bad it was before." No, just freaking pick up Wade. Shut up. Read it.
Well, when the minister and I, during the pandemic, we interviewed a lot of creators, and we got 40 minutes with Mark Waid, which was a lot. He said he could only give us 20, so I love that guy. And he said, if you really read my book, bad stuff happens to Daredevil in my book, especially. It just looks lighthearted because of the art, but I put him through the ringer just like they did. So I think there's two weird things, not weird, but two interesting things about Daredevil. He is consistently, in my opinion, he's consistently had the best writers almost since his inception, including, Frank Miller, and onwards, the Gene Colan art in the second and third Silver Age books. And he has had just a remarkably great run of writers all the way through to Zdarsky, and they have all put him through utter hell. He is just always a beaten and broken man, and he always manages to pick himself up. Everybody around him gets killed or shot or missing or kingpinned or something, and he picks himself up. And that is that's my opinion. I don't know how I started on that, but yeah, there it is. Daredevil. I know I need to get the Werewolf by Night Red Band too. I think there's a couple issues of those, right? Peace and love you too. Peace and love you too. The best. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you, Joey.
I'm also getting every issue of Spider-Man Black Suit and Blood miniseries. Why can't I be Krisis Lad and be his intern? Because you're my intern. Cut it out. This is going back. Oh gosh, I'm so far behind. This is going back to the OPB pitch. JP's customer service is amazing. He's very personable too. JP, if you're watching, keep up the great work, brother. I think he's busy being married and having a child soon.
Ooh, I gotta go get my power cord while you continue catching up.
Okay.
Right back.
No worries. Hayden says, are we all ready for Agatha All Along to be the Marvel project of the year? I, for one, cannot wait. I am extremely happy about that. I've been looking forward to it. I love Catherine Hahn, and I loved her character. Wait, let's go with that. There we go. So I think this is going to be the big thing. I am going to dig it. Krisis answered, I don't know. We might have to work on your hair. Oh, Jake. Jake does have a good bristle head, but I don't know what it would look like.
What if he grew it out? What if it was a spectacular mane?
Yeah, you never know.
Gotta get it. You gotta get it to like a good, like down to the ears before you know for sure.
You're right. I am an omnibus and absolute man, but getting on a flight to Spain and LA from Australia this weekend. Please suggest JLA softcover or Flash. Can you be more specific?
For the flight, I think there's so many good like one-offy JLA books, like I don't know, like JLA The Nail, or like the first, or like the initial JLA by Marson collection, or I think Flash. I can't think of as many satisfying standalone thick trades for Flash. There's like a whole line of Mark Waid Flash trades, but I feel like if you're looking for like a thick trade to put in your carry-on, you're probably going to do better Justice League. I don't know. Am I wrong there?
Do you know? No, not at all. But the real answer, of course, is to have a tablet, because then you could download everything you want and make sure it's working before you take off. And then you could have JLA New 52 by Jeff Johns, which I love, or Grant Morrison, or The Nail, as he suggests. If you're making us pick softcover, I'm going to agree with Peter that I like The Nail. I also like Tower of Babel by Mark Waid, JLA. That's one of my all-time favorite JLA stories. Mark Waid just crushed it.
That's another good one. Or even like Kingdom Come,
Oh yeah, or
New Frontier.
Oh, New Frontier or Justice. I love Justice by Paul Kruger and Alex Ross. That's one of my favorite books.
I do love doing that on a plane. Like I'm thinking of a book that's right off camera here. Here it is. Yeah, when I go on a plane, I like bring like one honking big book. And so I think when I flew to New Zealand, I was reading this.
Oh, what a good book.
It's not my favorite of all time, but it was like a fun, easy, emotional read for a plane. And like, you gotta love a comic book that is, how many pages must this be? I don't know. So yeah, that was my read on the plane. And even though I don't like super love it, it's always going to be a keeper for me just because it was with me for that.
Yeah, it had a couple scenes in there that wrecked me. If you can wreck me emotionally in a comic book, I think you've done your job. But I agree, there was a lot of buildup to those spots.
Bring on a Sunbeam on your plane trip. I just read that with a new reader with the Comic Slayer last week, and it blew me away. Absolutely blew me away.
Oh, you hadn't read it before?
I've ever read. Yeah.
She Comic Slayer turned me on to that. She turned me on to all Tilly Walden.
I need to read more Tilly Walden now. Yeah. Yeah,
they're spinning. What else is there? Shoot, I have a Tilly Walden section, just like I have a Reed Chancellor section. There's the Comic Slayer, are you in the chat? Tell us, what am I missing here? They're spinning. There's on a Sunbeam was my favorite, but then there's the highway one. Yeah, everybody does. Makes more money. I do know that a few Welsh Christians walked with the Cherokee when they were forced to move west. The Cherokee even has a plaque to the main Welsh preacher, Evan. Well, maybe that's where it happened. So maybe it's on my dad's. I'm sorry, my dad's side. Maybe it's the Bragg side, who's Welsh. I went the polar opposite of Zdarsky and pre-ordered Shadowland.
Guess what? I love Shadowland. Here we go.
Okay.
Everybody's like, that's one of those runs where people, when there's a sudden tonal shift in something, or it kind of goes, it's an expectancy violation, right? It's like when a TV show is pivoting one way and then the plot goes the other way and everybody says, well, it's a bad show. Well, no, it's not a bad show. It just didn't do the plot thing that it telegraphed, and you got it in your head that it had to do that thing to be pleasing. And comic fans are notorious for this. I am amongst them, that when the book swerves, which we should all like, but if it violates your expectation of what's going to happen too bad, people are like, it's dumb, it's bad. And people are going to do that. People did that with Krakoa. They're going to do it with X-Men from the Ashes. Shadowland, because it went from this very grounded, gritty Daredevil in jail thing with Brubaker to being about, the hand and mystical stuff and possession. People were so nasty to it at the time that I thought it was going to be like the most wretched bottom rung comic I ever read. And then I read it. It was fun. It's fun comics. It's fun. Like, hand stuff is fun. Daredevil as a baddie is fun. Everybody in Hell's Kitchen coming together to support him is fun. And the art was good. So sometimes it's very rare that a comic that all of comics hates is actually a bad comic, because if that many people read it and have something to say about it, it's probably not that bad. Usually the bad comics are the comics that like not even that kind of critical mass of people have even read,
All right.
So I enjoy Shadowland. Read it. I think it's fine. It's great. It's entertaining.
I'm going to give it another chance. I know it's coming out.
Like it?
I was kind of lukewarm on it. I like the main Andy Diggle stuff. It was the tie-ins that I thought that pulled me away.
Yeah, not every tie-in is great. I think Ghost Rider was good. The Misty Knight stuff was good. The Moon Knight stuff was good, but like some of it was like.
But it's coming out again this month, along with the Zdarsky first Omni of Daredevil. So I will get it, and I will, because I sold it, but I'll get it again because I'm an easy mark. You brought it up, or Mr. Tex brought it up, so now I kind of have to order it. So I am going to do that.
You don't have to. This is not the FOMO show.
Yep.
You have already ordered. Too.
I already ordered it. It's too late. I pre-ordered it. Thank you. I appreciate your concern, but yeah, I did. That Rogue cover is beautiful. I so want that as a figure, right? I'm so ready for Gail Simone to write some steamy Rogue and Gambit scenes. Okay, me too. Halo Tangle, have you read Kelly Thompson's Mr. and Mrs. X? Starting with Rogue and Gambit, then 2 trades of Mr. and Mrs. X, which were super fun. I thought they were fun. You must have read them. You sound like a Rogue Gambit stan, if I'm using that correctly. Mighty, am I the only one excited for Jubilee? LOL. Peter's typing now. Maybe he's answering.
Well, I think it's interesting because Gail Simone has been all over Twitter talking about how Rogue is clearly the leader of the book, but it really seems to me like Jubilee is positioned to be a pretty major point of view character, especially because the Free Comic Book Day issue focused on her. So I'm excited. I'm excited for all of them. I think Rogue and Jubilee really got kind of backseated a little bit during Krakoa. I mean, Rogue did get to be on the main squad eventually, but if you think about like big Rogue moments in the whole 5 years of Krakoa, there's not many, which is not to say everybody needs a big moment or a feat or whatever, but she was very much a supporting character during almost all of that time. And I think we could fairly say that it's for Jubilee as well, except for maybe in Exterminators, of course. So I think it's nice to kind of cycle these big characters. Krakoa gave a lot of smaller characters or characters that hadn't had focus for a while time to breathe. And Jubilee and Rogue had a lot of focus for the last 5 years. So I think it's fine. Of course, as a Rogue fan, I want Rogue to be the focus of every X-Men run ever. But, I'm excited to see what Gail Simone does with them.
I feel like
Magic also kind of got backseated a little bit.
I was just going to say that. I feel like Magic was not very much a part of anything, and I was kind of wishing that she was. So I'm hoping that she gets more in whatever book she's going to be in. Zip code started in 1963. Were we talking about zip codes?
We're 30 minutes behind. Who knows what we were saying?
I was 4 years old. My address used to be I grew up. I was first 6 years was in Ohio. My address was Akron 7, Ohio. They gave you a number, Akron 7, and it used to be an acronym, you'd call like 573 star or 57 booger or whatever. You'd give out, you wouldn't say the whole phone number. First of all, you didn't have to use your area code unless you were calling Uzbekistan or something from Ohio. You would use just the regular 7 digits, but it was always they gave them a alpha. It was like an alphanumeric thing. Wow, am I dating myself? Yeah, it's fine. I'm my age, whatever. Peter, I just finished watching all of your crushing comics. Okay, it's supposed to be spelled with a K, but we'll let it slide.
No. The only thing I deliberately misspelled is Krisis, and I've been punished enough.
Oh, crushing comics. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you still? Oh, I know he has feelings on this. Would you still say the Utopia Nation of X era X-Men is your favorite era?
So I answered this a little bit in the chat, but I do want to talk about this on screen. So I love Utopia Nation X because it's extremely plot driven. It uses a huge cast of characters and it's tight. It's mostly happening in 1 or 2 books at all the time. And it really kind of moves at a pace that I wish it would have lingered further. I'm a status quo person. I love when we get a cool status quo that lasts for a while. Now, for me, Krakoa is X-Men. To say that there's X-Men without Krakoa is BS. I don't care. I think it's dumb that the X-Men comics have not all been canceled and permanently retired. I think Krakoa should have been the end of X-Men. Full stop. Quote me.
And then, okay, whoa. And then what?
And then there's no more mutants. The end. We finished the story.
We're done with mutants forever?
Yeah. For like 5 or 10 years. Just, they give Fantastic Four 3 years off. Anyway, but
have anything that's in my mind to say to that.
But Krakoa is so sprawling. I love it as an era, but it's so hard to just be like, oh, even if you try to just read the spine of like Hickman to Duggan to Gillen, it's so hard to just say this is Krakoa because Krakoa is so many things. It's truly a whole line of comics. Mm-hmm. I still love Utopia Nation X because you really can just sit down and read Uncanny X-Men and only Uncanny X-Men from 500 to 544 and then the next 20 issues of the next volume and pretty much get the whole Nation X story. Will you get a little bit more of it if you read Astonishing X-Men and Generation Hope and Legacy? Yeah, you will, but like I think in terms of a run on X-Men, that's the period that I enjoy the most. I still really, really love Utopia Nation X because it's like a little mini preview of Krakoa. It's like the test tube version of Krakoa.
That came out when we were organizing my X books. Your love for that era. That's where I first picked up on it. Personally, wait. Alex says, so is X-Men or FF better? Hang on. Personally, not sure if the new X-Men books will reach Ryan North's FF run. Now I can talk about something. I haven't read it, but I have the 3rd book. So I have through issue 12, which I think 3 months ago, you said you were on the floor in your house reading it and just felt it was absolutely delightful. It was issues 11 and 12. So I've been waiting until I could read the whole thing 1 through 12. So I have book 3. And that is going to be something I read extremely soon because I'm very excited for that.
The great thing about North's run is you could pretty much read it in any order. It's all 1 and 2 shot stories. It's again, pick up any comic. Ryan North gets it. Ryan North he's a genius. He's been doing dinosaur comics longer than some of you have been alive. He really, really understands what the medium can do. And I just think he's dunking on the whole rest of Marvel and DC month after month in Fantastic Four by writing a comic that is so true to who they are, so funny, so emotionally resonant that you literally can just pick up off a spinner rack. And he honestly did something very similar in Squirrel Girl, although over time Squirrel Girl got a little bit more arc oriented. I don't know that there's any comic, and I read every comic out from Marvel and DC. I'm like 3 weeks behind, but I don't know if there's any other comic from Marvel and DC that says pick any issue and you will enjoy it as Ryan North's Fantastic Four.
Wow, that is so great to know because I grew up reading just 1 and done and 2 and done stories. And when we started going to the six issue arc, that's when floppies became too cumbersome for me. I was like, I got to get 6 issues, 12 issues of this Hellblazer to get the story. And that's when I started doing trades and omnis and stuff. The this 6, 12, 4, however many arcs there are for whatever character, that reads much better in a collected format. So that's what made me drop floppies. Okay, so that gets me even more excited for Fantastic Four. Okay, this was a half an hour ago. Bunk, if you're still on here, I immediately trust both of their opinions on comics based on looks alone. Well, at least one of them. I know that's a shot at me because Bunk is my friend, and like that's how we.
I was so happy to finally get to be on a show with Bunk for that Evergreen show. It's one of the proudest things I've ever done on YouTube with any of this gang of folks that we're all friends with. If you go to the Near Mint Condition channel and look at our library Evergreen shelf recommendations, we brought almost 40 books to the stream, and they were all from all walks of indie comics, and we really just focus on how much we love them and why they're significant and why a library should have them for everybody to read. And it got really emotional. We debated some like heavy political topics about like politics in comic books, and not like current politics, but like comics as a way to like tell the story of people who are politically oppressed. And we just came out with an absolutely phenomenal list of the top ones at the end. So if you've got 3 hours, I mean, just listen to it like a podcast, right? If you're like on a drive or you need something for your commute or something, it's one of the proudest things I've ever done on YouTube. And I think it just genuinely was really a good time and a good listen. I've listened to it back several times just to hear, like, absorb all the things everybody else was saying without being in my head about like talking next, you know?
Yeah.
Which the point is, Bunkmaster and I built up that we were gonna have this big fight because we had so many opinions, and then we got on there and we like tried, but it was actually such a lovey stream that we didn't. Bunkmaster and I still need something where we can like really come to blows. That was not the right show for that.
I'll get him on with you. We'll have a complete fight on something. I can just tell you that. I do need to see that still, because the only part I saw was the part that James sent, which was the beginning where I guess somebody said, "Oh, they all look like guests from Omnidog's show except for Curtis." And Curtis is like, "Yeah, Jess, what's the deal?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm being called out here on this show."
Because I believe I walked into that having just been on your show 2 days before, and we established that you hate Canadians on that as part of the lore. So I deliberately went on and provoked that.
Oh, you did? Okay, now I have to watch it, you jerk. I do remember that. Just watch VFC's video on graphic novels from Top Shelf. Way more interesting than Marvel and DC's recent releases. I'm with you, Peter, except I'm so bad on any touch screen. I am so bad, I can't type with my thumbs on these things. I watch my wife and daughter. My wife is perfectly good at it, and I am a one-finger texter, so it takes me like 40 minutes to respond, and by that time, the person's already moved on to a different topic. That's why I try and do voice to text, because the one-finger thing is not doing it. Sent the covers I secured in the cover gallery tab in the Discord. Just thank you. Okay, I think I still have Discord up, so I will look. James is like the third eye raven of the comics community, and Josh is his Hodor. Awesome. I'm only 32, and I refuse to scan QR codes. Darth Twinkie with a great profile pic, too. Excited for the Celsius to Fahrenheit conversation. With Jess, he's known for putting beverages in comics so jam or jelly doesn't feel that off. Yeah, maybe I should start, except I like root beer. Maybe I should start jamming comics. Here's a great question. I was actually going to ask this question. I kind of have it written down. I'm kind of cheating that I...
Did you actually plan? You planned content?
I said collecting figures, vinyl, statues, fave format. That's all I wrote.
I used to collect Marvel Legends in the States because it was like they were still like almost $20 each, but it could be done. I got 1 or 2 waves of them here because I just like the idea of having the thing, because I was a big G.I. Joe fan as a kid. I had so many G.I. Joes, and I still love G.I. Joe stuff. I have that beautiful art of the G.I. Joe book up on the shelf. We've seen me almost die trying to take it down on the floor. Yeah. And so there's something really pleasing to me about having like the physical representation of a thing that I like in media. So any kind of toy line or statue line or something that does one of everything is really attractive to me rather than a limited line. So especially like those Marvel chess sets, I always want to get those because they do so many different characters, or like anything that's going to hit all the characters, like hero clicks, or even if a video game. I remember back when there was Marvel Avengers Alliance on Facebook, I was addicted to that game, not because I like Facebook games, it was the only one I ever played, but because it had so many characters, and I just love anything that like puts all the characters from any canon, comics, G.I. Joe, movies, kind of all together. But Legends are so expensive to get here. I used to buy the whole wave so I would get the Build-A-Figure. And then after doing it 2 or 3 times here, you know, after the conversion, the shipping was like $500 to get each wave in New Zealand. So I was like, I have to give it up. So I have a really cool Legends collection. It used to be behind me in a lot of shows, and I haven't even unpacked it here because I'm just sad that because they've done so many cool figures since then that I haven't got. But that's still a comic thing. Comics, music. I'm a big D&D fan. This whole shelf up here is actually all spillover D&D books. From another huge double shelf that I have another room with all my D&D books. At the beginning, I'd always really liked D&D and TTRPGs. At the beginning of the pandemic, we had actually coincidentally just started a D&D play with a lot of my friends still from university from, you know, decades ago. And then we had the first session, and then everything went on lockdown. So for the past 4.5 years, we've never missed, I think missed once. We've played every other week. So I'm a big D&D fan, and other RPGs too. I have the book for Kieran Gillen's Die up there. I'm dying to do Die. Right now, if you watch Dropout TV, which is one of my favorite platforms to watch video online, they have this live play show, Dimension 20, and a lot of the times they do D&D based live play. Right now, they're doing this live play of a system called Kids on Bikes that they've modified a little bit for this show called Never Stop Blowing Up. It is the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. I was wheezing through the last episode of it, and it's really similar to Kieran Gillen's Die. The concept is all of these characters work in one of the last video rental stores, and then they get sucked into their favorite action movies. So each player is playing both the kind of dorky video store employee and then also playing their action star hero. And it is so funny. Like this like older woman, like accountant who's like ancient and does spreadsheets by hand, winds up being a hacker, and she's like, oh, I'll get that for you in one moment. But now she's like a hacker in the movie. So I'm a huge Dropout fan.
Dropout,
and of course,
TV.
I love Drag Race. Of course, we've established.
And if I watch Dropout TV, okay, wait, okay, so just a sec. If I go on Dropout TV, can I learn about Dungeons? I know you want me to play Dungeons and Dragons. Can I learn about it on that show? On those shows?
Dropout TV it's a whole video platform. It's expansive. Some of their stuff is on YouTube. It used to be College Humor, and then College Humor was going out of business effectively and morphed into Dropout TV and was effectively bought by the people who were doing the content. And now Sam Reich, who is one of the executives previously, is the owner and also the on-air talent of it. So it started with a lot of sketch comedy. You've probably seen clips on like YouTube or TikTok or Twitter of their show Game Changer, which is a game. I love classic game shows, and it's a game show that changes the rules of the show in every episode. And all the people playing are improv artists that are like Upright Citizens Brigade graduates. So they're all these high quality improvers playing these made up. Sometimes it's like Simon Says, sometimes it's like The Price is Right, sometimes it's like Survivor. Like it's a different game in every episode. So it's a whole platform. It's like $5, $6, $7 a month. I don't know, because I buy it in New Zealand dollars to watch everything they've ever done. And when they started as Dropout, they added the show called Dimension 20, which was this very famous D&D person now, Brendan Lee Mulligan, DMing for a group of improv comedians who are playing D&D together. And they're like 10 to 20 episode live plays. So it's not like Critical Role where it goes on forever. Talk about something that's more intimidating than comics. I find Critical Role to be incredibly intimidating. But Dimension 20 is kind of digestible because it's always 10 to 20 episodes. I'm almost at the end of the story. I'd never watched Dropout TV. I didn't give a shit. I had no idea what it was about. Last year, they did Dungeons and Drag Queens, which I love drag, if you can't tell. And so I was like, well, I have to subscribe and watch that. And it was great because only, I think, one of the drag queens had ever played Dungeons and Dragons before. So it was really like a good, not only are they also world-class comedians by virtue of being RuPaul's Drag Race graduates, but they really got to explain the rules from the ground up. And a lot of people were like, A, it was funny. B, it was like this awesome, diverse gang. And then C, I actually kind of like finally learned about Dungeons and Dragons by watching it. So
Oh.
Dropout's the best money I spend every month. Slightly better value, even possibly than Marvel Unlimited. It's close. There's so many hundreds of hours of Dimension 20 and Game Changer and all these shows that Marvel Unlimited is what, like $8 or $9 a month. Dropout's like $6 or $7 a month. It's real close. They're the only entertainment subscriptions I have, other than like, you know, Netflix and Disney Plus, which you need if you have, you know, if you're a geek and you follow all the geek stuff. Anyway, sorry, monologue alert. Krisis
No,
monologue
that was
alert.
awesome because I didn't know anything about that. I think maybe you've referenced it before, but I didn't know it had all that improv talent, which is really cool.
Oh, Jess, you would love, I really feel like you would love Game Changer. And then they also have another show called Make Some Noise, which is basically Whose Line. It's just a version of
I
Whose Line.
love that show.
Yeah, I love British panel shows, love Whose Line. I grew up on that. That was something that I used to really like, comedy. And then I think comedy got like so edgy and down punchy in the 2000s and 2010s. So like people being acerbic and sarcastic and being like, oh, but it's a joke. But then you find out that they were really assholes in real life and it never was a joke and they really were that mean.
Yeah.
And I kind of like fell out from like in comedy because I felt like all comedy was about punching down. And I feel like I got back into comedy both by watching Drag Race and also watching things like The Good Place that were like really, really smart. And I'm like, oh, smart comedy is back. And so that I think Dropout, even though it's so dumb, also is a lot of really smart people. And it's probably the most diverse rotating cast I've seen on any internet platform ever. And so that really kind of got me back. So I love laughing. I watch it every day, at least watch 10 minutes of it. And just
that's awesome.
Laugh. I think it's healthy. I'm into things that keep me young, Jess. Good skincare, laughing every day, always listening to new music, anything that keeps me young.
Appearing on the
complex
show.
system of pulleys that are suspending me from behind to look like this.
Okay, wait. No, we'd get demonetized for that, but I totally love that song. I have that one memorized. Let's see. Chat. Peter Ham. Oh, he is a rock star. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, he plays guitar well. Want me to answer any questions on that? Oh, yeah. Jake can answer all the questions about compact editions. Peter with his Jen Bartel rogue hair. That's a big compliment.
That's a huge compliment.
Wow. Okay, so people are talking about things. I love both gamuts, but I think AJ Lasasio voice is perfect. Sing happy birthday to Stanley, Peter, please. I think Stanley already left because oh my God, I'm 45 minutes behind.
I'm now 25 because we keep stopping and having these having these great conversations.
Okay, good. Harley Quinn and the Gotham City Sirens, the Bruce Timm written, the Paul Dini written stuff is awesome. There's a third of it after that that's above average because it follows the Paul Dini stuff, but it's a book worth getting because it's really, really fun.
I think I had never read Gotham City Sirens before we did our Batman Evergreen stream, and it was one of the books I caught up on because I thought that I would pick it, or actually I thought Jess was going to pick it, and I wanted to be able to argue with Jess. And it's just really readable. It's just really fun, readable comics. I don't know how to say it other than that. It's just, how would you say it? Like every issue kind of just flows. Like every one of them is funny. It gets to the point. There's a caper, something happens. There's conflict between the three women, and then you're on to the next issue. And it just is like really, really bingeable, I think.
And they work together well. They're written so that they work together well. Even if they fight, they still care about each other and work to solve whatever they organically work together. So, which is I like how that is. Do you have an iPod? I still have a couple iPods.
I am on my last iPod Touch. I should have gotten one more right before they discontinued them, and I wasn't quick enough, like on the day, to order it, and they sold out. And it's getting a little dicey. So I'm gonna have to switch to using an iPhone as an iPod soon. But yeah, I still use music. This computer, I think my music now, like music app, is up to like 1.5 terabytes.
Whoa!
It's a lot. I'll launch it now. I'll launch it right now and tell you how many. But yeah, I mean, I like listening things to streaming, but I'm a very, if you couldn't figure it out, I'm a very well organized person. I love categorization, taxonomy. So I have like probably like 1,000 playlists. My star ratings fuel all of these like mechanical things of like if something's rated 5 stars, I've got to hear it every year so that I never stop listening to my favorite music. Like I could never get that to work on Spotify. There's so many like pipes and things, and I've had it for over 20 years. So it's kind of just like, it dictates my whole life. It kind of just runs for me. My whole life really just operates on a whole series of like interlocking spreadsheets. It just tells me where to be and where to go. I overestimated that by 100%. I have 700 gigabytes of music.
That is a whole hell of a lot. That's
currently
awesome.
standing at 126,284 songs.
And on what is it organized on? I mean,
what used to be iTunes, which is now music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Apple Music or something. Okay. Now Kane says X-Men 97 OST is digital only. I'm getting the vinyl.
I thought you just said you ordered the vinyl.
I did. I ordered the vinyl, Kane. Maybe you I just ordered the vinyl. I can send you the link if you own a turntable. Otherwise, digital's probably fine for you. What do you want it on an 8-track or something? I'm not sure you can get it that way, or cassette. Vinyl is the way to go. I can send you the link. I'm happy to. Remember, it might be the literal best animated episode of Marvel shows. Yoast X-Force run is underrated. Yes. Raven Boys.
Where is that omnibus, Marvel? That's got to be, now that the Ancestry omnibus is announced, I think Yoast X-Force is getting pretty high on the most obvious single run. Everybody likes it. It would sell a friggin' boatload of copies. I think it's getting towards, I mean, there's other things that people want, like J. DeMatteis Spider-Man, but I don't know if that's as like blindingly obvious as Yoast X-Force.
Yeah. I always recommend to just start when a new writer jumps on a title. Okay, so we're back to that. Wait. I have some Omni and I haven't read it yet, but I think just loved it. I'm sure I did, but I have no idea where. I'd have to scroll back too far. What did I love? The Brave and the Boys. Oh, you're asking Brave and the Boys. Okay. Preach. The best thing about Epic Collection is it acknowledges you can start anywhere. Oh, when do the tangents start? Harvey, thank you for the $2 chat. This has been nothing but tangents. That's what I love. This has just been us reacting to each other and the chat. So start a tangent, Harvey. I'm paying attention to you now. Peter, would watching X-Men 97 ruin or change the way I experienced the 80s and 90s comics for the first time?
What do you think, Jess? You've watched X-Men 97. How does that, if you knew somebody who had just watched 97, what words of wisdom would you tell them before they dig into classic X-Men comics?
I would say this heightens my desire to read those years. That makes me want to go back into those years, because X-Men 97 like crushes all these years worth of stories into like 3 episodes. We saw Madeline Pryor in like the 3rd episode, and in real life it was a long time before we saw her. And then Mr. Sinister is, his stuff is all crammed right in. So I would say that you should be, if you haven't watched it, watching it would make you want to see it with a little more breathing room. As awesome as X-Men 97 was for me, I'm really excited to go back and read stuff like Age of Apocalypse, and before that, well, 90s, I know Peter and I have a different opinion on 90s, but like the Claremont stuff and things, I think it would make me excited for it.
Yeah, for me, I think I come to a very similar place, but in that X-Men 97 is such a good remix, right? Like the best remix of a song that you hear in the club. Like, it takes all the best part. Like it moves the drop earlier. It does the bridge twice. Like the remix is meant to be the dance floor version that's going to get your booty shaken. And you sometimes forget that there's like an original version of the song. For a lot of songs, like the version of the song is the radio edit, or like is the remix. And I think going back to the Claremont comics or any period of X-Men comics after watching X-Men 97, you just have to remember that. Like X-Men 97 is the remix. It's making you shake your booty. It's got the most compressed version of the most attractive version of the hooks and the riffs of the story that you can get. When you get to the comics, you just have to remember, like, this is the full length. This is the LP version. This is the you know, it has the long intro. It's got more instrumental stuff in between the verses. It's got more guitar solos. There's more room to spread out. And so I just think that you can't go into reading X-Men comics expecting the level of intense compression of the show. I think only occasionally is X-Men ever that snappy. Like Astonishing X-Men maybe is that snappy. But most X-Men comic books, the reason people loved X-Men is because Claremont established this idea of downtime, which like other comics had. There were Avengers comics with downtime at the same time that there's Claremont. He didn't have a trademark on it. But I think that became a hallmark of X-Men comics that like actually a lot of times when you read through an X-Men run, you realize that a lot of things aren't happening in a lot of the issues. It's just interpersonal drama, getting from here to there, you know, machinations and stuff. And like the big hits are only every so often. So I think you got to kind of change your mindset to be ready for that.
Well said. Just wait until you go down the rabbit hole of the real life Hellfire Club. What? I don't
know the movie Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, but I haven't seen it.
Well, there's like the Hellfire Club in real life is like a BDSM rich people club.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, thank you, Larry. Peter's too young to have been reading in 1991. I call BS. I am ancient and eternal. Okay, you already answered that one. Peter, how old is Kid Krisis? We just talked. My daughter, Johnny Rotten, is 6. And the way you talked about her last stream, I assume she's about 12. Yeah, she's turning 11. Excited to share some of those books you mentioned. Okay, it's a love fest between Bunk and Krisis.
She's just into double digits, and she's been reading comics. I've been reading comics with her since she was 2. Right on the other side of the wall, she has her own version of this bookcase, which has all, you know, the comics that she loves. I just reserved On a Sunbeam for her from the library. She's a very savvy reader. It's funny. She was just some kid at school like convinced her to read what is it, Dogman? Or no, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I think, or Dogman, one of those two that are like the most popular comics. And she was reading it and she kept coming and she goes, this is kind of basic.
Oh, wow. She is savvy.
But then she wasn't trying to say it in a mean way. She was like trying to say like, you know, she reads Claremont X-Men. To her, Diary of a Wimpy Kid is pretty basic by comparison. But we talked about the idea of, you know, comics as a gateway drug and the idea that this is a really simple to read comic. It integrates prose with pictures to kind of ease you into the idea that the pictures are going to communicate things and then the pictures are going to have their own text. And that like, not, you know, she has to remember and you can like things without liking things that have deep continuity, which is a reminder I need sometimes. So it's just really funny to see her, you know, encounter this one of the most popular comic books in the world and be like, you basic.
Harvey is right. Today is the 1-year Goiter anniversary. July 9th last year is when I received this huge care package of super indie comics from Harvey. I know better than to try and promise things now. I've been promising poor Great House that I've been going to be doing Bang. I have notes for Bang. I have everything set up on my computer for Bang. And I can't get a day where I feel. Yesterday, I started out, boom, out of the chute. I felt so great. I had everything set up. I was going to do like 4 videos. And then I just was in so much pain. I had to go back to bed.
Oh,
so I'm not actually saying that for sympathy, but thank you. I'm saying it just because I know not to promise anything. I really want to get to those Goiter and the other books you sent me, Harvey, but my life is not really my own. I can't count on 18 hours of feeling good a day. But it's stuck on my stand right here, what this computer sits on, that this is the anniversary, and I really am going to try and get to them sooner rather than later. Okay, then we're talking about some of Peter's moisturizer.
Oh my gosh, Freddie's in the chat asking for the link.
I sent the link.
Facebook group chat, Freddie.
I sent it to a Facebook chat. Yes, James, I know. I'm trying. I really am. Yes, I agree with that. Shut up and read it. Just grab a comic. Oh, New Warriors. There was no official immigration question about New Warriors, but I know you'll have special status on NMC for enjoying them. Oh, wasn't Dee in a bad slump after Nocenti and up to Kevin Smith's? I totally forgot to name Ann Nocenti, who's finally getting an omnibus, and I have not read Kevin Smith's. So who was between Nocenti and Kevin Smith? That's a gap in my knowledge.
Oh my gosh, I caught up to present.
Good for you. What's the answer to this question? I forgot about Nocenti, and I have a gap that I don't know between Nocenti and Kevin Smith's run. Do you know who that was or who they were?
Chichester.
Oh, okay. Mark Waid's Daredevil made me cry when he got to see his ex-wife again. That issue broke me. I'm trying to get her caught up, but I never will. Mega Shrimp, sir, I love DD, but yes, what you said is absolutely true. Daredevil is known as a character who has had the best run. I am beginning on going down that rabbit hole. Good. I have Miller's run and finished Brubaker's run. Okie doke. You read it in whatever order you want because it's all awesome. Krisis, I'm in awe. You go levels deeper than I'm capable of, so I appreciate your views. 100%. I agree with that. Hey, Flo in the Machine had a lovely remix of Seven Devils for the teaser trailer. That must
Big
be
Florence fans in this house. I have every song she's ever released, ever guested on. That's why my music collection is so big. When we find, much like comics, when I find somebody that I love, I try to do a complete chronology of them where I find like everything they've ever recorded, guest appearances, backing vocals, demos that have leaked, and I try to put it all in order. I started with David Bowie when he passed away because I'm a huge David Bowie fan. And there's this great book that's the catalog of every recording that David Bowie has ever done. So I got the book and I started I was like, wow, I'm missing so much stuff. So I started putting it together. But then I got into my head like, oh, what if I did this for some of my other favorites? I knew I had already had everything on the Beatles. I was pretty sure I've had everything on Garbage. They're my favorite band. So I was like, well, I should do it from Madonna. She's one of my other favorites. And then kind of work my way down the pyramid. Like the Garbage, and then it's like David Bowie and Madonna, and then like the Beatles and some other stuff, and work my way down. And now I keep going down and down the pyramid. And every time I finish one layer, I pick a next layer. So if I do like 10 artists that are my 10th layer of favorites, then I go down to the next level and I pick 11 artists that are my favorites. And so I think I'm up to having done that for like 250 artists where I've like done comprehensive playlists. And I want to find a way to do it on YouTube or do it on my blog, but it's so hard with music licensing. Like I'd love to do a podcast about it.
Oh yeah.
The copyright stuff gets so complex and I don't want to get copyright dings and like get strikes on my channel and stuff. So just trying to figure out how to do it, but I would love to do more music content. That would be my dream.
I heard that. Peter, Jess, your thoughts on Jeremy Adams' Flash run? I personally haven't read it, but I believe Booster Green is in the chat. He's my DC expert, and I'm pretty sure he's really digging it. I'm taking so many download and tell. Haha, just missed books. Thank you, Legends. Ooh, we're a legend. Nice. T-Dragon Society.
Love it. And on the shelf in the kids' room right next door.
That is another thing that Comic Slayer hipped me to.
Jeremy Adams' Flash. I have learned that I like Flash books when they have a big cast and focus on a lot of them. I think it's like, why are we just following Flash? Not only because there's so many Flashes, but I just think he really works in part of a community. And I didn't get to finish the Jeremy Adams run. I think I only read the first like 10, 12 issues, but he really leaned into like, there's all the Flashes on the table. They're all doing stuff. Some of them are stuck different places. And like, I just think that that's one thing DC is doing really well. And I hope they don't ruin it with this relaunch that they're doing after their last relaunch was only a year ago. Every title feels like a book that's about a whole family of characters right now. Wonder Woman feels like that. Action Comics feels like that. Batman feels like that. And I loved it. DC, the way DC is better and more unique than Marvel is they let their characters age and grow and have families around them in a way that Marvel never does. So like, I think the reason DC rocks right now, and I like it a lot better than Marvel, which is not something I say a lot, is every DC book you could pick up is a book about a family of characters. Green Arrow is about a family of characters. Every one of the major books is about a family of characters. And that is the true unique selling proposition of the canonical DC universe. And they should never give away that advantage over Marvel.
I love it. Here are the other Tilly Walden books. Are You Listening was the one I was thinking of. Alone in Space. And Harvey says Clementine. Do either of you read digital comics? Oh yeah, interested in hearing your
99% of the time.
Interested in hearing your personal pro. I don't. The only con I have is because I have a channel. Showing comics on a tablet is a lot harder than showing physical books. I have both DC and Marvel Unlimited. I read a lot on both, but I end up having to get the books so I can show them on my channel. That's the only con. I mean, everything else is great. DC's only a month behind now. Like, is Marvel still 6 months?
3. Marvel's 3.
3. Okay, that's amazing.
Some things come out right away, randomly. Like, I think they put some of the Ultimate books up really quickly because they knew people were rabid. What was I going to say? I would agree with Jess. I think pros for me of digital is going in deep in the pages, not only because my eyesight is going and I sometimes want the text to be bigger, but because I want to like zoom in far in the art. I want to see one panel at a time. I want to go in deep and see the line weights. So I love the resolution of digital, and it's handy for me if I want excerpts of things to put on screen or whatever. But I agree with Jess. I used to do Haul Around the World as one of my shows, and I realized I know it seems like I have so many books, but they're books I've had forever. My typical monthly haul is like any new X-Men omnibus and just epic collections. That's all it really is. So I stopped doing haul videos because I was like, what? Like, oh boy, I have all the new epic collections that Curtis is definitely going to talk about. Like, there's really nothing else to say. So I think one of the cons is, it's fun to talk about physical stuff, but man, as you age and as you have 20,000 comic books in your house, and as you've had to move these things, as Jess and I have in the past couple of years, it's digital. Just do digital, y'all. If I could do this all over again, and it's just that I started a few years before digital really, really became as accessible as it is. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have a single one of these books behind me. I would just be all digital.
No, I have already said to my wife, the next home I move to is the funeral home. I am not moving these fucking books again. I will sell everything. If our landlord raises the rent too high or something and we got to move again, no, this is not happening. I will sell everything and go digital. I can't physically do it again. And I didn't even pack up and move the books. I hired guys that actually did a very nice job, and I tipped them well. They packed them for me, and I was still exhausted. So, yeah, no. I have read Kelly Thompson. It was so good. Good. The Uncanny roster is perfect, near perfect. I would love to see Max and Krisis jam session.
Max is way too good of a musician for me.
I tried to make
all of my hands are made of thumbs.
You didn't make slides for what?
Well, I was like, what are we talking? I had topics, so I was. That's why I'm at work too. I can't go to a meeting without an agenda. But I'm trying to. I was talking to, again, my friend Felix about utilitarianism, which we don't have to. I'm really bad at explaining philosophy, but utilitarianism is about like doing the thing you think will make the most good in the world, not personally, which is different than just something being utilitarian, which is saying this particular thing is useful. I tend to think a lot of my time needs to be utilitarian at all times. Like, what am I doing right now? I'm doing a blog that will get views, that will help people find X-Men comic books. I'm watching Drag Race to take notes, to make a post. And 2024 is a lot for me. Been trying to find time that doesn't have to be utilized and I can just enjoy it. And that's part of what the show is, even though we're doing it for an audience. This is my time to just like decompress with Jess, and immediately I tried to turn it into a meeting with an agenda, and Jess, like Batman smacking Robin, just was like, shut up. So I'm not allowed to bring a full agenda. I can bring a couple of topics, but there can't be slides. There can't be a full agenda.
Yeah, I am probably the exact opposite of Peter in that way. Cyclops was a standout in the Utopia era, but I don't love the era that much. The books feel like movies. Okay. iPod answer. Love North's FF. Which era of X-Men is it where Cyclops kind of becomes a bit of a villain with that X-shaped visor of his? Oh,
Bendis.
yeah.
Marvel Now.
that's when they started. Cyclops was right because of his vision. Ooh, I don't want to spoil who he killed, but isn't that right after that? Or
Yeah.
Okay. Tilly Walden, I love this part. Okay, Lars, I'm glad we can please you. That is good. The Magneto leech scene was one of the heaviest things ever in a comic cartoon. I thought that was genuinely sweet.
Yeah, and then he dies.
Well, there is that. Okay, iPod stuff. I had to upgrade my 2009 iPod Classic to what? I didn't know you could upgrade your How do you upgrade your iPods to hold that much? Is there a memory card in old iPods? How do you?
I don't know. I don't know how to hack an
Vision,
iPod.
how did you hack in there and get all that room? That's
Or do you mean you just bought a new one? Did you upgrade with it?
Oh,
maybe. I don't know.
It was an honor to be on that stream with you and everyone. That is the one I still need to watch. Jess, when did Bunk become your friend again? Are you still mad at him for not reading all of the Enfield Gang Massacre? Yes, he cheated and skipped the written prose part, which was so important that informed the rest of the run. We're going to be on this Friday. We have a full boat of crime comics we're going to be talking about this coming Friday. Bunk and me, Crime Corner. Now you ruined it. Some Bunk's in the chat. He's going to start wrestling. Oh my God, here we go. The Venn diagram of comic fans and wrestling fans is like my show somehow.
I used to watch wrestling back in the day. That falls into that same kind of like toyetic thing for me. I used to watch WWF back when it was called WWF, and I used to watch Glow, the Glorious Ladies of Wrestling, which probably
that looks really fun.
Hugely not the Netflix show, the original Glorious Ladies of Wrestling. This is my aesthetic in some ways.
Okay,
they did have this hair. I'm just, I do recall.
Good to see you, Bo. Jaggernaut from the Great White North. Jess bought Planetary Omni today. Thanks for the recommendation.
One of my top recommendations of all time. If you like Planetary, y'all, you better be reading this current run of Outsiders. Don't sleep on it. It's Planetary in all but name. It is a sequel to Planetary. It's by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly.
Ooh,
and it is a Planetary run named Outsiders.
Oh God, that's good information. Thank you.
Hayden's just saying wrestling's a gateway drug to drag. Somebody on Dropout TV just did a very funny. They have a show called Smarty Pants, which I love, where they do presentations on things where they just insist that they're right, but sometimes it's a lie or a scam or something. Sometimes it's just funny. And Jess Ross, who's from Philadelphia, one of my favorite cast members on Dropout, did a presentation that drag and professional wrestling are the same thing, and it was really funny.
Okay, here is some guy.
Yeah, some jerk, right?
Welcome. Better late than never. I can talk to you because Peter has to dip in a few minutes, so I can have an extra hour with you. This always makes me feel better. I don't think about my pain when I'm online, talking to people in the chat, talking to my co-hosts. So I'll talk to you till 6 a.m., Freddie, and we'll have fun numbing my pain through the glorious meet. Oh, shut up, Jess. Bunkmaster says that NMC stream was indeed basically the ODEU, Omnidog Extended Universe. And Peter's right. James was set to pit us together, but instead it just a wonderful 3 hours of wonderful people talking about the importance of comics. Good night, Elon. Elon, soon to be a guest on my show.
Oh.
Maybe.
By the way, I had my phone literally break or whatever on set, so I had to go and spend an hour after work at T-Mobile to get a new phone.
Oh,
fun.
No fun.
And, that's your excuse.
And the dude was very lazy, so I didn't even have all my contacts. So it's taken me a whole 45 plus minutes of getting everything set up.
Oh my goodness.
And it's still not. Yeah, so I showed up in the chat like 20 minutes earlier saying, hey, send it to me via email because
got it.
That way. Yeah, it's fine.
Let's see. I feel like we already talked about DD.
Mm-hmm.
So I answered this a little bit in the chat. I'm an original Advanced Dungeons and Dragons like D&D 2.0 player because it's so stupid hard. Like THAC0, we all laugh about it now because we've all been there and we have war flashbacks. I played 3 and 3.5 a little bit. It's fine. I think 5 is very elegant. I think 5e is very transformable, adaptable. It's easy to bring in rules and drop rules. There's a reason it's got the open gaming license, which all these books up here are not core Hasbro D&D books. They're all open gaming license D&D books. And I think that's why, because 5e is so elegant. I did all the playtests for 1 D&D, which is this new version that's like not a new edition, but kind of a new edition that's about to come out. And I don't really like any of the rules changes. I think 5e it's going to take a while for 5e to get supplanted with something that I think clicks as well as 5e, because even though it's detailed and even though there are many things that it's missing good rules for businesses, it's missing good rules for mass combat. But I just think the core of it mechanically is so easy to adapt to whatever style of game you're going to play.
Here's some guy. He's a mod here too. Email me the link, Jess. I will give you a saga. Where I was missing a mod too.
It wasn't a saga. I lied. I did have like a really, really crap day though.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. I am so sorry.
I won't say much except I was asking because my phone's broken, so I'm just asking for a printed copy of what we're doing now because they keep adding scenes and scenes when we're done. We're done for the day. It's like, let us go home. You don't need to keep us here 12 hours. No.
There must have been a QR code for it.
Yeah.
Call back to earlier in the show. Joke for the people still watching.
I admire the organization. This is about Peter's music. It's hard to keep up with all the info for albums when I put in my old CDs, but I do an okay job. Haha. Sucks a lot of time though. I finally have my vinyl in genres. I have not alphabetized them in genres yet, but they are segregated is not a good word. Frick. They're no, what's the other word I'm looking for? It's not segregated. They're organized into their genres. So I've got soundtracks. I've got post-rock. My favorite is shoegaze. So I have a big collection of shoegaze, regular rock, post-rock, and ambient, and then weird electronic music that I was into during the pandemic. And I ordered way too much of it, and my wife ordered me to sell it, so I'm getting ready to sell it on Discogs. But it is organized, so I do know where to look for certain things now. My favorite groups, things like that.
Who's your favorite shoegaze, or some shoegaze faves?
Well, I love Lush. I love Curve. I love Ride.
Curve. Close neighbor to Garbage.
I love Garbage. I don't consider. Oh, that first album from Garbage was.
Oh, I know it from
immediate classic.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted.
No. That's fine. Garbage's first. You know what? I need to get it on vinyl. I've only got it.
I have it on vinyl, signed by the band.
Shirley? Oh, yeah. Whoa! That's so cool.
Yeah, one of my few vinyls.
And I'm wait a sec. There's a seminal band that I'm not listing, and I just pulled them out of storage, and I'm like, oh, great, I have them. Slow Dive.
Oh, yeah, Slow Dive. Sometimes shoegaze is a little atmospheric for me, and I'm like, where is the hook? But then sometimes when it's really like lush and full, I can really get lost in it and really enjoy it.
That's what I love about it. I love the chimey guitars just getting hammered away, and maybe I love Lush because the music's so angular and chimey and hammered out, and then the girl's vocals are so ethereal and beautiful. I love the juxtaposition with Lush. I'm just like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever heard. I have a box set of them, and I am never getting rid of it. I also, though, love Slater-Kinney. And I know you and I... Oh my
gosh, I love Slater-Kinney. It's one of my favorite bands of all time.
I have a box set of it. I have everything they've already done, I've ever done. And then I found a place in Europe, in England, actually, where I'm assume these are bootlegs. I've gotten like 4 live Smiths albums. Smiths are one of my favorite groups ever. And as far as I know, they're bootlegs. And then I ordered a Slater-Kinney album, and that's definitely a bootleg. I don't know
No,
how
they
this
definitely
plays.
put them all out. Maybe if it was live, but they put all the main records out on vinyl a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I don't. This doesn't look like an official release from Slater-Kinney. It looks
I
like,
didn't know bootleg vinyl was a thing. I had no idea.
yeah, there's some. I know this Smith. I know my Smiths catalog, and this stuff is definitely not Smiths approved. I love it because it's actually well recorded and live. So I love it. But I'm going kind of down the rabbit. If we're talking about rabbit holes about bootlegs, I love live music. And this completely legit record store seems to have a ton of bootleg stuff that's really fun. I don't know. I don't know how they're getting away with it, but
well, clearly in a future episode we have to do a Slater-Kinney ranking or something. I'm such a huge fan. I've seen them live so many times. So many favorite
gosh,
songs. You're no rock and roll fun, a party that's over before it's begun. I love how Corin sings. I love that like wobble in her voice because I sing a lot like that. Yeah, love them. Love Carrie Brownstein. One of the most. And fun fact: last time I saw Slater-Kinney, which was in 2015, I want to say, their opening act was Lizzo. And nobody knew who she was really at that point. And I felt like I'd seen the face of God. Like I ran out to the merch stand and nobody was there. I'm like, I need everything you have that has Lizzo's name on it. I need all of it. And they're like, yeah, sometimes people have this reaction. But like, nobody was there. I'm like, I was looking around. It was a union transfer in Philly. And I was looking around this room of like, I don't know, holds like 1,000 people being like, this is like, I feel like I've just been raptured. What are you all doing? And then, of course, Lizzo is now like one of the hugest music stars in the world.
That's amazing.
And I just knew. One minute into the first song, I'm like, this is one of the most amazing artists I've seen in my life. And then I got a Slater-Kinney concert after that. Like, that's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
That's amazing. Let's see. X-Men 97, X-Men 97, X-Men. Would you ever be able and willing to release your music rankings playlist to the public? I'm always looking for new music. You want half a terabyte of music sent out to you, Darth Twinkie?
You wouldn't even know what to do with the 126,000 songs if I send them. Well, no, I want to, as we discussed a little bit earlier, I'd love to do more music content. I've been trying to find a way to do it literally for 7 years now since we got here to New Zealand. And it's just so hard because of the rights management stuff. Like, how do you do good music content and be fair and compensatory to any of the music that you're going to feature? Originally, I was going to do, that's a long story, but yes, I would love to do that. I'm always down to talk music. I'm always listening to music. James earlier in the chat put my link to my top 200 plus albums of 2023. A lot of great stuff in there. Plugs for some stuff you might not have heard of. Wild Child, which is a small Austin, Texas band that's kind of like Lake Street Dive. If you ever listened to Lake Street Dive, Wild Child, one of the best albums that I heard in 2023. Amanda Stewart, who's a contemporary country artist, but really, really small time. She lives in Montana, I think, and does songwriting in Nashville. Like nobody, she's got 100 listens a month or something on Spotify. The album is like straight up 12 of the best songs that I've heard written in a decade. It's amazing. So those are my top 2 albums of 2023. And then my number 3 album was Hozier, who I never even really liked before, but I listened to his album. It's like transported me back to like getting a brand new U2 album in the 80s. Like, it's just so big. It's like so
really
cool.
Because
so
that was transformative to me when Boy
came
you
would love the Hozier album from last year, Jess.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's my top 3. I'll follow any obscure whatever. If it's good and there's a hook, I will love it. I'm not just looking for the most popular album of the year. Yes, Brat was good. I listened to it. I do like Charlie XCX, but I'm not always just looking for like the most popular record.
People have always asked me to do a show on my favorite ambient or my favorite shoegaze or my favorite soundtrack and stuff, and I go, all I can do is tell you guys to look in the description. Also, Peter M's link is in the description, Crushing Krisis. But I can't play any of it. So I'd go on and say, okay, here's my favorite here's my favorite shoegaze. Here's my favorite post rock, and it would just be a bunch of Spotify playlists that I had made, and that's like a 3-minute video. So I'm not sure how I could really do it justice.
I'd still tune into that.
Oh, all right. Well, then that means I have to do a show. I will. Chat Omnidog's here. Jess just logged on. Please hurry up and read and review Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, so I know if it's worth picking up. Thanks in advance. Well, I'm getting an issue sent to not an issue. I'm getting the book sent to me from Organic Price Books, but it might not get here. I may have to read it on. If you want it that badly, chat Omnidog, I may have to read it on. I may have to read it digitally and then give you my review there, because I don't have any control over when the books are sent to me, actually.
All right, well, I do.
Oh, you don't have to feel bad, Chad. I'm okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. You have to bounce?
I have promised Kid Krisis that we were going to go outside while the New Zealand winter is treating us well. So even though I only got to spend 10 minutes with my beloved Freddie, we will try again next month.
We'll try again. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Horrible, but hey, I'm very happy I got to spend just a few minutes. You brightened my day.
Oh, I feel the same. That's because this is friends jamming on comics and apparently jamming music too.
Yeah,
we're going to start talking about music every show, I hear.
That's right. It's a love fest, so we'll do it again next month, and we'll all have fun again. And Peter M., thank you so much for being here. It's great having you. Go to his site, which is in the link. I have a link in the description box below. And one of the most wonderful human beings that has ever been created, that is Krisis. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Have fun, y'all. I love you.
Love you too. Oh, he signed off really fast. Ooh. Okay. No, it's okay, chat. If you want me to read it, I will. I need to know what people want me to read. This was half an hour ago. So if you're still there, I was going through my whole pain issues, but it's not... it's not a big deal. I can do it. Earth's Geomancer Peter M was responding. You are the shadow half after all, chat. Omnidog.
You know what? I will say, I think it's worth reading just because it's so ridiculous. Like any book that's ridiculous and fun and has like some of your favorite things, like just get it, you know? Either you're going to enjoy it or it's going to be so bad that it's fun.
Yeah, I don't even remember. It was FDR. I don't even remember what we were talking about half an hour ago that you would say FDR. What was that? DJ Chester was the writer of the Daredevil run we were talking about. That completionist music rabbit hole goes deep. I've only been able to get all songs from a couple of artists so far. Yeah, Krisis is committed to it. That is amazing. How committed he is to the right before you got on, Freddie. He was going. Well, I guess maybe you were seeing it on YouTube or something. Okay, but he's got half a terabyte of music. 200. Oh, dog alert! Dog alert! Hello, sweetie.
All day until I took him out just now.
Everybody be quiet and look at the cute dog. Oh, so lovey. Hello, sweetie.
Do you know any songs? No, he just laid down.
Oh, okay.
He's kicking me out of the couch. Don't be rude.
Yes, he's right here. I cannot post a link to rate your music, but I have a list of my top. Okay, so he did say that. Yes to that Flash run and the current one. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Saw Flo in the Machine at Madison Square Garden when she was doing her Dance Fever tour. Her live shows are such an experience. They are life-changing. Holy smoke. Oh, I'm so sorry that we didn't get to this. We'll 90s Darkhawk. We'll get to it next time. Keep that question next to Maginaut, and we will definitely cover it.
Give us a
Jess,
start
couldn't you just
possible
screen
or
share
just
the
buy it.
digital? Couldn't you just screen share the digital comics website?
Mm.
It's not the issue with my doing digital comics isn't actually the problem is I can flip between pages much easier and get to the page I want right away to show. Hello, doggy. Oh, that is so cute.
And that's a dog cam. Go
Hey,
on.
baby.
The problem was.
Sorry. I
didn't know
can't.
again.
I if I'm on a comic digitally, I mean, you can just scroll. I can't bookmark to go right to the page I want, like I can with a collected edition that's physically printed. It's not. I mean, I could put the iPad under my camera and show it, but then I'm just zipping through.
Yeah.
And it
But-
doesn't have the impact that a live book does. I am going to be using the digital comic thing when I get to Josh Greathouse's comic. That I will be using because I also have physical copies and I want to compare them.
Yeah, but can't you like screenshot on all the comic reading apps? I know you can on Unlimited.
Yeah, you're right. I could do that.
Yeah, but then you'd have to do a different type of organizing of creating folders and putting them in order and stuff.
I think you know me better than that.
Well,
you know I'm not.
Go the lazy route and just flip through all the screenshots.
I'm not even going to do any of that. I'm not doing the iPad at all. Except for. Oh, he answered next Imaginon. Okay, good. Final Fall of X were added recently, just like the new. Oh, okay. To Marvel MU. Okay. Oh, okay. And this was what Krisis was saying that he put up his music there. What a way to end the night watching Krisis' majestic hair, accompanied by our favorite comic book Hispanic El Gran Omniperro and Freddie.
Yeah, maybe Hispanic. I don't know.
Okay, so here Peter's giving his dark talk. Oh, okay. Now, I opened it up and swapped the HDD to an SSD. iFlash makes a nice chip you can install that allows. Wow, that's impressive. He upgraded his iPod to like half a terabyte worth of music. That's really amazing that you opened it up. Wow. Okay, wrestling. Hi, Freddie. Okay, good. You've appeared on the show at this point. Wait a minute. How am I still half an hour behind? What the hell? I commented that I was enjoying the Outsiders comic in a Reddit thread about how they are angry Lansing and Kelly are destroying Planetary. They told me to actually read Planetary and that I was a kid.
That's a compliment.
I've read Planetary like 3 times. Top 5 comic for me. Yeah, Reddit's the Shoegaze Reddit site is very nice. I haven't seen anything evil there. That's the only Reddit site I go to is the Shoegaze section. I don't need somebody telling me that I was a kid, especially if you're enjoying it.
But think about it this way, it's telling you to read one of your favorite comic books and that you look young. Like, I don't know. That sounds like
what production are you working on, Freddie? Is it local? I assume it's local.
Yeah, it's local. There's one that's not local right now, and they're screwed in a different way than I am.
Did we talk about that previously?
I don't think so. I could tell you about what's going on. Like, they're jealous of us, and I'm like, I'm kind of jealous of you guys, because that one is an actual union project, so they're getting healthcare, they're getting days, and then mine, we're leaving at exactly 12 hours, even though we finished early, but they keep on looking for things to do, and it is insane.
Why couldn't you work on the union job since you're a union member?
I didn't get offered that one.
Oh.
Yeah, but on that one, they're doing minimum 14 hours every day, but they wrap crafty, so they don't get a second meal.
Oh, freaking frick.
So 6 hours we were supposed to have lunch, so they're getting a bunch of lunch penalties.
Oh man.
So just because they don't want to pay two people an extra hour so that everybody can eat, which that is evil.
Yeah, that is. I'm so sorry. Yes, my bloody Valentine. Yes, as a matter of fact, that site that I was talking about where I get the Smiths and the Slater Kinney bootlegs, I've been getting some really old demo things, early demo stuff that cannot possibly be sanctioned from my bloody Valentine. It's good, and I've got 2 albums that are like demos. I love my bloody Valentine. You guys are right, of course. They're one of the kings of and the originators of shoegaze. I do have All About Eve albums. Yes, there we go. Oh, good. We're getting into it. Shoegaze is my favorite too. Started with my bloody Valentine, and then I went into Slow Dive. Nice. Chapter House, also a great band. I love where we're going with this. Slater Kinney and then Wild Flag are utterly fantastic. I do like Wild Flag, Bunk. You are correct. Yes, we're on tangents. We're talking about music. Kryptonite Kid said we should send Omnidog some old Dunedin music from New Zealand. Okay.
Maybe that's Dundon.
Dundon.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, send it to me. I'm game. Okay, everybody on Comics Slater. Okay, Slater Kinney are absolutely ferocious live. Highest recommendation if you get the opportunity. I don't know next. What have they done now that it's just down to the 2 of them? Who? Yes, that's great. Well, do they have? Who is taking the other Slater's place? Because I know there's only 2 of them. Is it time to talk about Pop-Tarts again? It's always a good time to talk about Pop-Tarts.
Well, I still have the other 3 from the
That's right. Were they brown sugar cinnamon?
No. I had wildberry.
Oh, wildberry.
Yeah.
Garbage. I'm only happy when it's rain. It's been rainy here for the past 4 days. We are parched. We are in a drought here. The earth is cracking open, and I'm not even kidding. I hope we get some of Hurricane Barrel's remnants. Peace and love. Sorry to everybody that got stuff wrecked, but we need that rain. So I hope we get some of it. I was just in London and there was so much bootleg vinyl, not even of unreleased stuff, just knockoff editions of big records. No love for Air Supply. Sorry, Mr. Tex. Yeah. One of the best things about Napster, I did do LimeWire, were the DJ sets and live concerts that were uploaded in the days after a concert. I have so many MP3s from that era on CD-ROM and external drives. Wait, I just thought of a shoegaze noise band that I have to go into Apple Music. Okay, wait. Artists that I discovered on LimeWire. Bethany Curve. Bethany Curve is awesome. They're kind of noisy shoegaze, noise gaze. I don't know, but if you can listen to Bethany Curve, LimeWire helped me discover that. Comic Slayers, Slater Kinney rules, and our favorite thing to do at record stores is pick up bootleg vinyl. I love the bands that don't care about them existing. Nice. Larry's got to get to bed. Peace and love, Larry. Okay, here's Peter. Rate your music top list. List of top 200 2023 records. Wow.
It's a lot of music.
Octung Baby Equals Life. Was I at that Slater Kinney show with Crushing Krisis? Is Freddie vaping?
Well,
are you vaping?
No, where'd you get that, Harvey Picard?
Thank you for all the super chats. It's very nice of you, Harvey. I definitely saw them at UT, but not sure the year. Or is it UX? My friend's venue. Ha. Zooropa, we're talking about U2. Zooropa is trippy and atmospheric. I rock with U2's War a lot. Lately been on some electronic stuff, though. Lots of Channel Tress and James Blake. I was in Tower Records the summer of 1981 working because I had to take an extra class. I went through graduation and the piece of paper said, finish your classes, Jess, and then you'll get your real diplomas. But they let me walk through graduation. My parents weren't too happy about that and said, we're not paying for that class. So I had to stay in my Stockton, where I went to school in California. And actually, it was a great summer. I had a blast. But long way of saying, I was in Tower Records when they put on Boy from U2, and I was like, that was life-changing for me. I was like, what is this? I've never heard anything like this. This is the greatest thing. And when did I see them? I saw them with Garland Jeffries. I'll have to ask Hondo where I think I saw him. I think it might have been the old Waldorf. I don't think they were big enough for the Warfield. I think I saw them at the old Waldorf in San Francisco. They played I Will Follow like 3 times. They didn't even have hardly any material. Then it's Peter, it's a Brat summer. I have no idea who Brat is.
Mr. Ghost, Mr. Cleveland just said that he keeps hearing a weird vape-like noise, and I don't know if that's my AC. If it's annoying, I can turn it off.
Oh, okay. I have to lean in to hear it. I don't think it's very loud.
Okay.
Crush Your Crisis website. Thank you. Doc says, what's a band or artist you feel you should love but actually hate? Mine is Elvis Costello. His voice is nails on chalkboard to my ears. What's a band or artist you feel you should love but actually hate? Hate is a strong word, but who's popular? Well, anything current that's popular, I definitely would not have listened to. Who was popular back when like things were popular and when I was a kid that I just never connected with? Oh, Queen. I've never liked Queen.
No?
Ever. Maybe 1 or 2 songs, but I didn't even watch the movie, and it was apparently a really good movie.
I mean, it's a watered down version of the events, and it only kind of realistically shows Freddie because he's dead. Like the rest of this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. It's like they're all at a party, and you know he's drunk, he's getting high, he's gonna have sex with a lot of people, and then all the other bandmates who are still alive, they're with their wives or girlfriends at the time, like their arms around them, going like, "Yeah, no, Freddie, you're out of control. We're gonna go home and spend time with our loved ones."
So they just beat up on Freddie because he couldn't defend himself?
Pretty much, it's like, oh yeah, rock stars. They were living the life, not us though.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
Wow. So Doc, it would be Queen for me. They are, wildly popular, huge. They have just never struck with me. Peace and love to Queen, but not for me. This is back to you too. Yup. I agree. You're welcome. Thank you for still being here. If you are, I'm still 20 minutes behind. So All That You Can't Leave Behind was a much more mature, heartfelt, almost retrospective, reflective album. A few songs really made me think. Have you heard? Okay, wait a sec. I have it on one of my music services, the U2 album that just came out, I think maybe last year or this year. I thought that was Bill Belichick. Where they reworked all their songs to very spare recordings with Bono not talking, singing, but it's really amazing. Let me see. Okay, what's my library? Wait a sec. Oh, Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, no, no. I don't want to play Carnival 9. Just a sec. It's like the 2 albums. I know. Okay, they won't let me in there. I can't think of the name of the album, but it's brand new. It's like a 2 album set, and they reworked all their songs to be really spare and hauntingly beautiful. It's really good. If anybody knows the the name of it. Hi, sweetie. Wait, what's your dog's name?
Sandler.
Sandler. Hey,
Hey,
buddy.
wait.
Hey, Sandler. Hey, Sandler.
He's not gonna pay attention. No, he's named
Hey,
after the-
Sandler. Come here, Sandler. Alexa, play Women in Punk Rock.
No.
Oh, good for you, Cullen. Souvlaki and Love Life are 2 of the best albums ever. Nicely done. Doggo sighting.
Yes.
When will someone invent analog bookmarks? Okay, you know my problem. Speaking of My Bloody Valentine, I'm so ready for the new movie. That sounds like a horror movie.
Probably.
Justin, did you ever see the Killer movie based on the French comic and with tons of the Smiths on the soundtrack? Good question. This is happening this year. I am going to be reading a bunch of Euro comics, and the Killer is in there, although Bunk and I may read the Killer before that, but I want to save it for the Euro comics video, which will probably be a 2-parter, which is a long way of saying once I read the book, I want to see the movie because it sounds really good. Oh, good. Okay, I'm getting a little bit more caught up. Yeah, Bethany Curve's really cool. Okay. I'll send you the Bandcamp link to my band's album, Industrial Electronic and Heavy Weirdness. I'm up for it. I love weirdness. I've seen you 2 only twice, and they were the best concerts I've ever seen. Nice. Fun fact, I was banned from Napster and sent a notice of possible legal action by Metallica when they sued Napster. You're a celebrity. Wow. Banned from Napster.
Yeah, all I'm getting from this is whoever represents Metallica are a bunch of jerks.
Well, are they? Their music was being stolen.
Yeah, but you know.
I think our age difference is showing here. I'm not a big fan of all that era. The kids that were ripping the songs and selling the CDs in school for $10.
I don't know much about selling, but you know, I think about it from like my own experience with comics. You know, when I was in college, I couldn't afford a bunch of comics like monthly or weekly, so I downloaded a bunch of them. But
matey.
But you know, now I've bought a whole bunch of that I used to read.
Another band that I discovered on LimeWire was the Doves. I don't know how to characterize the Doves, but I remember loving them so much. I ended up buying it because I have too much of a guilty conscience. I get it. Go ahead and everybody and do what you want to do, but I really love the Doves. I haven't listened to them in a long time. Yes, boy is the best. Comic Slayer's still here. That's good. I saw you 2 years back on the crazy 360 Degrees tour with that Wild Claw stage. It was awesome. Okay, I'm almost caught up, so that means we can talk. Freddie, you're here a little bit late. Have you been reading anything that you've enjoyed?
I've read absolutely nothing this since we talked last.
Have you hauled anything that's noteworthy?
Oh, I've hauled a few things. I still haven't posted my June haul, but I can look for it. It's all piled up.
Off to the haul pile.
Oh,
awesome.
Something that's comics related, but isn't comics because it was kind of funny. I'll be back.
Okay, I'll keep talking to the chat then. Harvey, I think you're gonna have to. No, he's not vaping. Brat, it's a Brat Summer. Is that a group? Is that a woman? A guy? Both? Who is Brat? I don't know. I stick to my genres. Like I'm in a big shoegaze phase now. I just picked up some more of the Stargazer lilies. I just picked. Actually, I'm in trouble when they arrive. But upper management does not want me getting more albums. But I discovered a couple of Stargazer lilies albums that I didn't have. They're really good shoegaze. And then I discovered this shoegaze band that's really good called Starflyer 59. So I went on Discogs and I said, I'll try them. Let me see what that. $200 an album. They are so out of print that I'm gonna have to Spotify them. Starflyer 59 Gold and Silver, and then Americana are all $200. So that means they're wildly out of print. 2016 Jess would not spend $200 on an album. Not at my most profligate would I ever spend $200 on an album. So I'm gonna have to Spotify Starflyer 59.
Yeah. By the way, JT White Wolf Library has joined us after his dentist visit. We are very happy we caught him. We're sad that JT has missed Peter, but hey, maybe you'll be like me and rewatch what you missed on Saturday.
What? I haven't even got there. Wait, JT White Wolf, where are you?
JT wrote to me on Instagram, and I told him about the show.
Oh, good. Did you get any good drugs? Tell me you got. They've cracked down so hard, dentists can't even give out pain meds anymore, which is ridiculous. As somebody that's had a ton of teeth work stuff done.
Tell us, what was your procedure? Was it just a boring cleaning? I love a good cleaning, but we want some action here. Lie to us. JT
is going through a bad period right now, but I follow him on Instagram, and he is reading, as I did, all the oversized Black Label books.
Okay.
He's doing something that I did not, and he's reading like Superman Year One by Frank Miller and Batman Damned. He's putting himself through that first. He's reading the really crappy stuff first, and I want to tell him, you don't have to, don't. But he's doing it. He wants to do the full thing. The best thing I can say to you, JT, is it only gets better after those. There's like 3 really bad ones, and I just said I'm not buying them, and I am not going to review them. I reviewed the best ones, which, to be fair, 12 of them are awesomely awesome, and they're one shots. They're also not out of continuity, so they can go there. Suicide Squad Blaze utterly goes there, and so does Swamp Thing Green Hell. That goes there too. There's lots of great stuff ahead of you, JT.
I haven't read Green Hell yet. Was that Lemire?
Yeah.
No, I'm not reading it. I went to
what?
Yeah, I'm not a big Lemire fan.
Okay, so it's just going to be my show now, where we will talk about people who know how to write books and the fans who know how to read books. Obviously, Freddie, he's a poor guy, doesn't understand what's going on in the world. What the hell are you talking about? You don't like Lemire. What?
I didn't diss you about your music taste when you said you didn't like Queen. So, back off a little.
Well, I guess that's fair. Yeah, it looks like Mr. Tex. You don't like Queen? Wow, yeah.
Yeah, people were shocked.
So Kane's okay. Oh, that's a pity. Okay, I still like you. Oh, yeah, I know they're way popular. People love them, and I guess same with Lemire. I would never bash you for that. I was totally kidding.
Yeah, I wouldn't bash Lemire. It's just it has never grabbed me.
I know Comic Slayer is gonna have something to say as soon as I get to her. She's the biggest Lemire fan I know.
Yeah. I would never diss her favorite comics or favorite creator. But so I went to Home Depot and I bought 3 things because they didn't have what I was looking for. And they were 2 notebooks and a folder. And here's one of them.
Oh, okay.
Big notebook. I don't have the small notebook.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is the DM everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have your notebook right here at all times that you gave
Nice.
me.
Well, the small
Nope.
notebook is in my car, but it's also a bunch of Spider-Man. So when I went to pay for it, the cashier told me like, "Oh, my son freaking loves Spider-Man," and I'm pulling out my wallet as she's saying this, which is
Spider-Man wallet.
Spider-Verse, and I'm like, I feel so infantilized right now. I'm
Oh, because it's her son and you're a grown man.
Because she's talking to me on the same level. Oh, my son freaking loves Spider-Man, and then I pull out a Spider-Man wallet. And I feel myself going down.
Dude, man, wear it proudly. Nerds are taking over the world.
Yeah. So I have my haul. If anyone's interested.
I am. Are you gonna show it now?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're sure.
Give us a sneak preview. Sure.
I'll show you everything if you want.
Whatever you're comfortable showing. I think I'm always interested in hauls. Hauls are super fun.
Hack Slash.
Is that by Zoe?
Look at her right there.
Oh, she cosplayed it to the hilt.
She did.
Good for her.
Let's see. We have DC Pride 2024. This is the regular cover. I also got the what is it? The swimwear one.
From DC?
Yeah, they did a very sexy beach cover of DC Pride, but I got it for my friend.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm actually gonna send it to him. I get him DC Pride and Marvel Pride too. Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to know how that is.
Let's see. Another Spider-Man, because this is one of the few things I'm collecting. Miles Morales. This is part of Blood Hunt.
Okay.
Let's see. I might have to take these out so you can properly see them. This is the Marvel Pride of 2024, the wedding issue.
Oh wait, okay, just a sec. Who's getting married? Destiny and
Mystique.
Mystique. Oh, that looks cool.
Mystique and Destiny's never before told wedding revealed at last.
Okay, so these are all floppies. We don't collect singles, but
I am also collecting Spectacular Spider-Man. And here's Miles cheating.
Oh, you said that's one of the good Spider-Man books, right? Miles, Spectacular.
Yeah, Spectacular, Spider-Boy, and I'm definitely forgetting another one.
Yeah, you said there were some good ones.
Yeah, basically anything that's not amazing is amazing.
Yeah.
So these are the two variants I got for my friend.
Those are the two what?
The two variants of DC Pride and Marvel Pride that I got for my friend.
Oh,
he's very much into Iceman.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah,
I haven't got the DC Pride yet. It's on my wish list.
Yeah, so this is the at the beach one.
Oh, I know. Okay, yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Something else I got for another friend is Lilo and Stitch. This is by Greg Pak. My friend's super into Stitch, so he's gonna enjoy that.
Wait, just a sec. Songs of Surrender. That's exactly right, Brent. Thank you. Is the U2 album. It's really cool.
Okay, so I get the regular single issue of DC Pride, and then I upgrade to the standard size hardcover, and I get the one shot the year after to my cousin.
Okay, so what's that collect?
This collects 2023.
Okay.
And
just in a hardback cover. That must be what I have on my wish list then.
Yeah. So if you're not collecting the one shots, or if you're crazy like me, then cool. It also
I am crazy like you.
What's in this one though? World's Finest Teen Titans.
Oh, I just got that recently too.
I bought 2 of them to give one to my friend.
You are a generous guy.
Yeah, the one I'm sending the Pride stuff. Karate Prom.
Oh, by Kyle Starks. What do you? Personal friend of Comic Slayer.
Yeah. Prez setting
Oh,
is dangerous.
I need to get that.
president.
That's Kurt Russell. That's Mark Russell, right?
It's Mark Russell, yeah.
Yeah, I need to get that.
It's 2048. I'm already future. Barda.
Is that a young adult one?
Yeah,
Can you show some of the art for that?
for sure. Let's see.
What's the premise?
Ooh, this is a nice page actually.
Yeah, what's the premise?
Dark side is, and life on Apocalypse is tough, but then it is hell after all. And no one knows this better than Barda, Granny Goodness' right-hand warrior. But Barda has a secret. She's in love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it. I got the free comic book day issue that had part of this, and it was very intriguing. Oh, look at Orion.
I really like a lot of the young adult titles.
Yeah, this one looks good, actually. Really good. Still getting Vixen NYC.
Okay.
Let's see. Grim.
Yep. I got that. I haven't read it yet, of course.
I read the first paperback. I haven't read beyond it. Let's see. I have some stuff to open. Let's see what's in here.
Okay. We will take you off while I just look to... No, I haven't watched The Changeling yet. I want to. I really want to. This is a good question, Next Imaginaut, because it turns out I am kind of into acid house and trip hop. I would listen to the music and think, this sounds good. And it was ID'd as like trip house, jazz house, acid jazz, trip hop. And I can't name any of the groups. My love goes deep enough that I will listen to it, but I don't know that I actually own and can name anybody that does it. But I do dig trip hop. If you got to sail the high sea, you got to do it. Yeah,
it's an accessibility issue. At least personally, I know some people are just jerks and they want to get it for free, but a lot of people do want to support their favorite artist.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Tex. Do you want to post it again? Was that you got 3 new ollies near you? Well, are you ready? Did you unpack them?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's fine.
I got.
Oh, good choice.
Of Black Widow. I already had the 3 Finn trades, and
you did.
I gave them to my cousin. She graduated, so aside from getting the old DC Pride issue, I gave her that.
I got that this week too. Yeah.
Fall of X.
Yeah, so I got that too.
Soon I'll be able to read all of Fall of X. New burn.
Yeah, I got. Is that volume 2? Yeah.
Volume 2. Have I read volume 1? No, but it's Chip.
I haven't read it either, but it's Chip.
The Hunger and the Dusk.
I got that too. It's looks great, and it's by G. Willow Wilson.
G. Willow Wilson, yeah. She was still on Twitter. She quit Twitter, but when she was still on Twitter, she promoted the crap out of this book. Really good.
Oh wow, the art looks great.
And Hot Girl, Once Upon a Planet, I think. Once Upon a Galaxy.
Who wrote that?
Jadzia Axelrod.
I don't know who that is. What made you buy it?
Oh, she's the writer that wrote Galaxy, which is in this page actually that I'm showing.
Galaxy.
Yeah, it's another young adult book. So this is a superhero.
Hawk Girl. What is it called? Once Upon a Galaxy?
Once Upon a Galaxy, yeah.
Okay. Galaxy something I'll put. Okay. I love Hawk Girl, so if that's a good book, I want to get it.
Oh, Galaxy is also on the back. Nice.
Oh, wait. Galaxy's a person?
Yeah, it's a superhero.
Okay. Galaxy's a young adult novel? I mean, a young adult graphic novel?
Yeah.
Oh, that art looks really cool.
Yeah, but this is, I think, a variant cover, but I wanted to show it because it looks really cool.
It does.
And the last thing I got is Gargoyles, the first standard hardcover of the new Dynamite stuff. It is called Here in Manhattan, and as you can see, I got the signed edition. Who
Ooh.
signed it? I don't know. Should we find out?
Looks cool. Are you going to open it to see who signed it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Let's see if you get a book plate.
Oh, it's a really nice book plate. It's an okay signature.
Wait, let me highlight you. Oh,
This
that's
is the
cool.
book plate. Like the whole page is the book plate. Like it's
That's cool. I like it. Oh,
Yeah, can you
nice.
see
Yeah,
the division? Yeah.
that's
So
really
signed
cool.
by Greg Weisman.
Very nice.
It's an okay signature, but it's a good book plate, and he's the writer of Spectacular Spider-Man.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so he created Gargoyles, and he was also showrunner of Young Justice and Spectacular Spider-Man, the animated show. Let's see. I think Gabe hated the art on this, though.
Well, it's your opinion that matters now that you own the book, so
I don't really care about the art. Like, I'll be honest, I love Gargoyles, and it's by Greg Weisman, so I'm sure it's great.
I think Harvey is a Charlie XCX fan with the Brat references. Okay, I do know who that artist is. I have never listened to them. However, peace and love to Charlie XCX. I'm too busy listening to Shoegaze. Peace and love, peace and love. I have too much to do. Any Charlie XCX albums will be tossed.
Oh,
No, I'm
actually,
sure.
look at this. Like, this is very early on.
Wait a sec.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that art looks fine. I think it's different. I like it.
And then look at this page. This looks adorable.
Yeah, I can. Oh, okay. I can see why if you're used to the cartoon, this might not be up your alley, but I've never seen the cartoon, so.
Yeah, looks okay.
No good drugs, unfortunately. So sorry. Brent Hogan, there is only two types of people in this world. Those who love Brat, those who have no pulse. I have a pulse there, buddy. I have a pulse. I'm pulsating right now because we're talking comics. Not a clean, but I had to get a crown on a tooth. It was not fun, but it's over now. Crowns, they probably wouldn't even, in the old days, give you anything good. No, even root canals, they won't give you anything. That's insane. Freaking stupid opioid crisis. I like Superman 1. Okay, good. I'm glad for you, Mr. Tex. That's great. I didn't enjoy Wonder Woman Historia. Well,
wow.
That's that. Okay. I'm sorry. I loved it. I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it, Mr. Tex. That's too bad. But you did like Superman 1, so you got that going for you.
I'm sorry for everyone that and I say this because it's happened to me as well. I'm being selfish right now, guys. No, but I feel sorry. Like when you're really excited and passionate about something, and then somebody just, they don't flat out crap on it, but they're like, so you can see it in their face, just life draining out of their face. But they enjoy it. Like that's such a terrible feeling. Being the guy like earlier with Lemire, being like, oh, not really.
Oh my God! At least Damned had all right art. Ooh, I wasn't a fan of the art at all. Superman Year One was completely irredeemable and bad, in my opinion. Okay, Mr. Tex, don't take offense. Everybody's okay here. We all have the books we like. I'm on Harleen now. Oh, you're starting with the best. And it's exactly, well, not starting, but you're hitting the best one. Exactly what Black Label does best. Loving it.
Yeah.
Harleen was my number one pick.
Yeah, it's one of my top for sure.
I probably have some Starflyer 59 CDs in the garage. If you want them, Jess, I don't really have vinyl. I would recommend Vapor. Oh yeah, Ride is so awesome. Jewish Dragons, yes, please. I would love to have CDs. I'm trying to figure out how I can get a CD player with my current setup. I think I either have to choose between a subwoofer or a CD player. Because I don't have an amp. The speakers are powered, and I plug the turntable into the speakers. The subwoofer would be plugged into the. Oh, I can't say subwoofer too loud because upper management doesn't know I'm getting it. She will when it gets here, though. But I do have a CD player in my car, and I would love to. Jewish Dragons, that's so kind of you. I would love to. You're on Discord, right? Just message me and let's. I love Ride and Curve and My Bloody Valentine and Slow Dive. Yeah, baby. Eduarda says I don't get Lemire at all. Also love Queen. A Day of the Races is as great an album as has ever been made.
See?
I love everybody's opinions. All opinions are, as long as they don't contain hate and are respectful, are welcomed here. Peace and love. That Spider-Man notebook and folder is sending me to high school supply shopping nostalgia. Such a wonderful time that was getting all new supplies for school. Okay. After the show, I will go to Spotify and I will listen to Charlie 150 or whatever her name is. Are those Roman numerals or is it XCX? That would be XCX. I don't think that's the way. It must be XCX because I don't think Roman numerals work that way. Okay, I'll listen to Brat. Thank you for all the super chats, Harvey. I will listen to Brat. If you like something, don't be scared to show it. It's a classic case of creating your own happiness. Well said, Fifth of Jack. Let me show you something that I put in my photos that somebody put in the OPB chat. And I want to know, first of all, I agree with this, but I want to know if it's from a show. Because, first of all, it's Elizabeth Olsen. And second of all, it's with Elizabeth Olsen. So, but what she's saying is so good, but I don't know if somebody put the words in her mouth or if she's actually saying it. So let me share the screen. Here we go. There it is.
Oh, I know what that's from.
So it is what she's saying in the show or movie. What is it?
Yeah, it's a movie. It's called Liberal Arts.
Liberal Arts.
Yeah, I want to watch it because it stars the guy from How I Met Your Mother, and he's not that good of an actor. But
wait, is that Steven Seagal or whatever his name is?
No, the actual protagonist.
Doogie Howser?
I don't know his name.
Neil Patrick Harris?
No, it's not Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, I don't. Who else is in that?
This is if you haven't seen the show, you won't know who he is because nobody shares images of the guy. So he gets contracted as a college professor. He's starting out. This is his first year, and he's falling in love with an 18-year-old.
Okay.
And it's kind of gross.
Is it supposed to be a comedy or a dramedy or a drama?
It's a comedy, like a romantic comedy. But there's one line that stuck with me the whole time. There's an older professor that's a mentor of his, and he's telling him, that this is a bad idea. You shouldn't do this. And he's telling and one of the lines he says is something like, "We're all 18 in our heads. In my mind, I'm still 18, but clearly." I'm not.
Yeah. That's how I feel. 18 in my head. Yeah. And of course, this is the world we live in where it's okay for a 47-year-old Magneto to get together with an 18-year-old Rogue. In no world, as I said on Saturday, in no world is that okay. Because if there was a world where it was okay, I would be living in it. I can promise you that. So I will watch this because it has Elizabeth Olsen, and I love this line. This is how I think the world should be. It's awesome. That's why I downloaded it into my photos so I could always have it. This is a great philosophy. Talk about what you love and then shut the F up about what you don't. That's not what she says, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what she meant.
Yeah. Keep quiet about what you don't. I think it's awesome. What a great philosophy. So Fifth of Jack was saying pretty much the same thing. I remember seeing somewhere that Scrooge and the Infinity Dime is getting a gallery edition next year.
Well, I might get that. Where'd I put the issue?
I think all my Brits have already fallen asleep. I was going to ask about the Steve Dillon monster edition of his early work from 2000 AD. I saw a YouTube presentation of it, and it looked so cool. Even I wanted it, but it's not on anywhere that I saw. So I don't. Maybe he got an advanced copy. This guy. Freddie, do you buy online or go to an LCS? If so,
I buy from insert sponsor here.
What? Thank you. Organic Price Books, where you use the code Omnidog, you get $2 off your order. I'm not doing as good a job as Peter did. I may ask his permission to clip that. And 5% off shipping 4 more books together with the code OmnidogSit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My LCS, when I started collecting, were run by a few jerks. There was one nice guy, but there were a few jerks, so I didn't really get into it. And they lost, like, my pull list a lot. Like, the card, like, because they had it handwritten, of course, so they lose the card all the time. And they'd be like, you don't have a pull list of us. And it was literally only Miles Morales, so I don't know how they... Okay. So now I'm mostly buying from insert competitor here.
Competitor. Okay.
Yeah. And pre-ordering from another competitor here. No,
I used to do that competitor, but now I'm just with the other competitor.
Yeah, I get single issues and paperbacks from DCBS and hardcovers, like the big books from Tales of Wonder.
Tales of Wonder's still going. Okay.
Because Tales of Wonder doesn't hold up your order. They ship them.
Yeah, Booster, that's where, if you're still here, that's where you should be pre-ordering from.
Yeah, pre-order from Tales. And, besides that, sometimes it's a lot cheaper.
Tales of Wonder?
Yeah, sometimes it's like the luck of the draw. Like, you'll pre-order a book and then, it's like 50% off and you're like, crap. And then other times, pre-ordering from Tales actually gave you more discount than when it actually releases.
Do you know ahead of time what you're paying at Tales of Wonder?
Oh, you do know what you're paying for, yeah.
Oh, but then when it comes out, you can see
exactly.
it listed for less somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, like you compare price. If you're like me and you can't help yourself. But also, the orders from Tales of Wonder transfer to in-stock trades.
Right.
So as soon as you go to your order history and you check it, click on it, you have the option of, clicking the book and seeing how much it costs, like right there at the time.
Okay. Portishead is trip hop for what it's worth. I like Portishead a lot. I believe I have a couple of Portishead albums. And I also like, tell me if this is trip hop. Massive Attack and what genre is Prodigy? I like both those groups. I think Massive Attack those are different groups. And I think Prodigy's lead singer passed away a few years ago. I love both of those groups. I don't know if they're trip hop though. So you tell me. The Hunger in the Dusk is amazing. Loved it. That's good to hear.
Nice.
Super sticker. I'd like everybody to know that Harvey is just flooding me with cash tonight. So thank you, Harvey.
Is he? I can't see. Like, okay, I guess that's okay.
Can you see the starred
Yeah,
ones?
see the stars. Okay, yeah. I was wondering
Yeah.
what that meant.
Yeah. Omnidog, I think it's high time you ban investigating dubstep too. Perhaps starting with Burial's first album. Okay, wait. Burial. Some of the first album and EP. Okay, wait. Burial first album and EP. Some of the best music of the late aughts. Okay. EP. Thank you. Thank you. I haven't read all of Hunger and Dust, but love what I read. And the Fallout volume has begun releasing too. Ooh, okay. Forgot to say thank you, Jess, for letting me know about Sam and Twitch. Yeah, Sam and Twitch. That was... Wait, was that this? That wasn't this week. But Trigonosis is the one that's always letting me know about Sam and Twitch. It's by Bendis, and it's supposed to be really good. It's time he investigate hard bop. I fully believe that's a genre. I just don't know it. Hard bop and electro pop. I probably have electro pop somewhere. I don't know about hard bop. Oh, this is Sam and Twitch. I found OHC Volume 2 and I was searching for OHC Volume 1. Okay, good.
Yeah, I think Volume 2 is still relatively easy to find. I know I've seen it a few times.
I'm not talking about numbing medication. I'm talking about the meds afterwards to help you with your pain after a freaking root canal. As a veteran of 8 root canals, life was a lot better when they gave me something to help with the pain afterwards, because afterwards hurts. This bit about Advil and Tylenol, no. Spoiler alert for those of you out there, it doesn't work. I've had a couple of agonizing weekends because of this dumb opioid crisis, which pisses me off.
But you know, the other thing is that a lot of our food has antibiotics, so we're developing a lot of resistance to these things. So it takes a larger number to be effective, and it's gonna keep on happening.
Of antibiotics?
Of
Getting
antibiotics
infected?
and other drugs and medications.
Okay, well, you're kind of a buzzkill right now, but okay.
Well, I'm being a buzzkill, but probably a helpful one.
Cage, thank you, but the issue is I don't know that I can plug it into my powered speakers. Thank you, though. Fire, okay. I use overseas DVD CD player because that time no CD player till now. Josh Radner, is that from How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
No, she's not wrong. She's right. And that's my philosophy. You should follow it too, Harvey. Super chat me that next time. What's happening here? What's the best Brat? Is Brat an album? What's the best Brat song for just to listen to first and not hate?
So there's a possibility of hate, is what you're saying.
Uh-oh. I don't want to hate anything. I want to... You think it's cool to hate things and it's not? It's boring. Clip. Oh, there's a clip.
Yeah.
I want to watch the whole movie now. Just when you listen to Brat, remember, it's not cool to hate things. I know. I think about it all the time. Made my wife cry. Von Dutch is a great...
Bad?
Sorry?
I'm sorry. Because it was so bad, Harvey?
Do you know Charlie XCX?
No.
Okay. Von Dutch is a great dance song on Brat, but we'll just be able to see from one song how great Brat is and how it stands apart from other things he might lump it in with. Just give me a recommendation. Don't.
Yeah, he keeps hyping it up or putting it down. I
just give me a song. If I like it, I like it. If not, it just happens.
But it's not bad being lumped in with things if they're great things that Jess loves.
I think I'm done with pre-orders. Yeah, I think you probably are, Booster. Need to be smarter with my money. I do have the 2 new Usagi HC pre-ordered. Ooh, what ones are those? There's 2. Usually I order those from Stan Sakai and they're expensive as hell.
Because you keep getting like those signed editions.
I don't even get them signed because those are like $120.
Yeah,
I just get the regular books because I don't know where else to find them.
Yeah, I remember he talked like there was a post about it explaining that since he switched to IDW, he had to print those himself so they could match the other ones.
Yeah.
I don't know now that he's moved back in with Dark Horse. Like, what's the status there? Probably he's gonna keep going because he proved that Peter's back. Because he proved that you guys don't need to print that expensive edition. I'll do it myself.
Right. Massive Attack is in fact trip hop. Prodigy is electropunk. Okay, I like electropunk, and I do like Prodigy. Prodigy is in trip hop, Massive Attack, and Portishead definitely are. My favorite is Tricky's Premillennial Tension album. Well, I do love Massive Attack, and I do love Portishead. Burial and Code 9 are amazing. Wait, Burial. Okay, first album, right. Charlie XCX is the best female pop I think the best in years. Hard bop is like, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. Okay. Okay, I like electropop, so I might like it. Well, Earth's Geomancer, you are a better person than I am. Yeah, but it's now 11 o'clock here, and your boy needs to get to bed, so I'm getting ready to call it a night. You got to listen to Brat beginning to end when you're feeling really good and up. Okay, that's not now. Hopefully tomorrow morning I wake up feeling like that, and I will listen to it. I'll listen to the whole thing. I'll put it on in the living room and listen to the whole thing. Next to Imaginaut, I feel your pain. I subsist upon a daily dose of Imodium, and the FDA's draconian crackdown on opiates and the like has resulted in it becoming infinitely more expensive and difficult to purchase at the consumer level. Yeah. You have to go through so much. Peter M. back in the chat. I love how weighty Brat feels. It's an electropop record that actually has feelings and deep thoughts. Okay, I'm kind of getting excited to listen to this. As a matter of fact, I am excited. I can't wait to wake up and listen to this.
Harvey, take notes. This is how you promote something.
Right. During some songs, the greatness will hit you and it will unlock the greatness of the whole thing. Okay, now I'm pumped. Omnidog is an Energizer Bunny of comic books. They're talking about, we are. Let me know where to find Usagi Trade Paperback Volume 9, reasonably priced. I definitely don't know.
If this is the saga, they are reprinting that.
The trade paperbacks? Okay.
Yeah, the sagas, yeah. Because I bought 1 through 8 reprinted and Legends, and Volume 9 should be coming out soon. But I did manage to find that on Stan Sakai's website. So
nice.
Yeah. So it was cover price plus whatever he charges for a. I think I got that one with a sketch.
To be honest, I'm just going to take those books to Baltimore if he's there, and I'm just going to have him sign them. If it costs me $10 or whatever, that's fine. Peter M. in the chat, what happened? I thought you were taking Kid Krisis out to enjoy the day. Are you on your phone? No, you can't work your phone. I don't know about best for the past 10 years. I'd have to do a thorough review to agree on that one. Now we're asking Peter, what's the one song Jess is most likely to like on first listen from Brat? Hell yeah, it's going to be a Brat summer. I want to come on next show, which would be, well, I don't think I can be on Omni Bros tomorrow night because junior management's coming over for dinner. So it'd be Friday with Bunk. I will have listened to and I will give my thoughts on Brat. That's at 8 o'clock Friday. Me and Bunk, we're going to be covering like two or three Ms. Tree books, and Hell is a Squared Circle as our crime comics. All right, time's flying, right, CNSS? Right on, too much fun. Lord maybe in the red bar cover. No. Let's just stick with Charlie XCX. I don't want to get Lord involved in this.
What? You don't like Lord?
I don't even know Lord. I just want to concentrate on one artist. I don't want to go up there and say, Alexa, play Charlie XCX. And Alexa, now play Lord. I just want to listen to one thing.
I put Lord on top just because it gets everyone dancing like a white girl doing this move. Like, you'll finally understand why white girls dance like this.
All right, that somehow sounds racist, but it's okay coming from a Puerto Rican, apparently, so I'll allow it. Usagi Yojimbo Volume 39, Ice and Snow Limited Edition, and Space Usagi Death and Honor Limited Edition. Wait, what was that the answer to? He said it earlier.
The hardcovers he has
on pre-order from Tales of One. TFAW. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting everything paperback, so it's fine.
I'm kind of puzzled how hard the Icona Pop record last year flopped, but people are obsessed with the Charlie record. But the Charlie record is definitely topically deeper. I just thought Icona was a bop. What's Icona Pop? Is that somebody else, or is that a Charlie record? I don't know. The Crow has yet to be solicited, I think. Getting pretty sleepy here. You guys are not boring. It's kind of past my bedtime. I'm getting sleepy too, Kay, and I'm with you. We're going to wrap this up as soon as I cannot believe this is a brat show now. I leave for 1 hour and things get wild. That's right, Krisis.
Yeah.
I think on my first listen, Everything is Romantic was my favorite, but every other time okay, you guys are getting me excited to listen to this. Best gateway into brat, maybe Talk. Yes, Saga, and thank you, Freddie. Okay. I just want to hear the anecdote of just casually dropping some brat reference to Kelly in her reaction. I don't know that Kel listens to that much new stuff. She likes the Beatles mostly, and maybe some other genre. I don't know how much she keeps up. I'll ask. I bet she doesn't even know Charlie XCX. She likes the Beatles a lot. Is it on the album, or do I have to special order it from Alexa? We're like 1 degree away from having a full-on music panel show with Jess Bunk and Comic Slayer. That's awesome. Jess isn't allowed in New Zealand. He doesn't know Lord. I don't. Sorry. Slow Dive is who I need. I know. But does he know Lady Hawk? Was that an old prog rock group? You can't just be a bop if you want to rule the summer.
Well, it's mostly the drugs, but you'll catch into it. You'll feel like doing it when you're listening to Lord.
Is that E or Molly that they're on when they're doing this?
It's something. Definitely.
Yeah.
Something.
Earth's Geomancer is right. It's bedtime. And I'm with Peter. We need a music show. Okay. I'm happy to get. Well, I can't get Kristen on because she's not feeling well. So that would have to wait till post baby. And that could be November or December. She thinks she's coming on like right after she gives birth. And I have news for her. I don't think that's happening. She's tough, but Icona Pop is an electro band. I love the Krisis in the chat an hour later. Icona Pop is an electro band that Charlie has collabed with in the past. Okay, yeah. I think we're gonna end on this one. I'm whipped and exhausted. There's a Bratz documentary. Oh, you mean the doll? Oh, I didn't say that. She could live stream from the delivery room. That's her. I kind of doubt it though.
No,
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna happen. I will say I saw a picture of Margot Robbie today, who is visibly pregnant,
yeah.
and I will tell you that. And this is not any judgment at all. I think it's great, but it's so different than when my wife was pregnant 33 years ago. She wore a tent, and that was the fashion. You just wore muumuus and stuff. And Margot had like a top on and her pregnant belly sticking out. And I was like, this is really cool. She's comfortable to do that. And I see all kinds of, I don't know how I saw this. I follow these two little dachshunds on Instagram,
Okay.
and the owners of them had a baby shower, and the girl was there with that same look, like a top on and her herc and belly just exposed. And I thought, good for them. That's really cool. That wasn't right. She wore an onion in her belt because that was the style at the time. Good reference.
Yeah. You know who else is pregnant right now? Jenna Coleman. So,
What's that?
Jenna Coleman is also pregnant. So, top 3 pregnant women. Barbie, Omnicat, and, oh, crap. Now I'm forgetting. Constantine.
Oh. Lady Hawk Prog Rock. It's a movie. I'm confused trying to figure out the brat talk. Can't successfully even Google it. Lady Hawk is the performance name of Pip Brown, a New Zealand songwriter. Just watch the video. To my delirium, it's pretty cool looking. Have a nice night, everyone. I will try. I'll try tomorrow morning. And peace and love to everybody. Thank you for everybody that was watching. This was a blast. We'll see Peter M. and Freddie again next month. Peter M. may be showing up with somebody else for a music talk. I don't know. We'll see. Peter M. has a lot to say about music.
And sing. He needs to sing to us too.
He needs to play he needs to do a little strum and hum. He needs to whip out that guitar and strum along with it. I think that would be the best. Oh, here's Freddie's IG. I'll put that in the chat, right? I'm sorry. I'll put that in the description right after this. Thank you, JT White Wolf. Thank you, Mr. Tex. I love progressive feminist icon, the adorable Omnidog. Yes, I love strong female protagonists. Show your pregnant belly. I think it's great. Good for you.
Lord.
Oh, I was thinking of Hawkwind. You're right. That's what it was. Good night. Peace and love. Peace and love. I will play us out. Freddie, thank you for joining. It was great to have you. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Join my Discord. We have fun. So I'll use my song to play us out. And peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you so much for joining. We had a lot of fun.